Yo, Cody Bridge. Hello, Jake Wilson. Hello to everyone else who is also just joining the stream as well. It is bronze tonight. It is round 14. It is Singapore, and it is season 4 of what is turning out to be an absolutely fascinating a fascinating Grand Prix here in Singapore. Group Galaboy is, oh goodness me, headphone users there. Have I blown someone's ears off? Have I? Oh, goodness gracious me then. Oh, that's a bit of decorum I need in here. I also need to sort out my charging port as well, because I should have charged all me bits and pieces, but I forgot to do that. So that is absolutely shocking, isn't it? What a terrible way to start off the old stream here tonight then. Cody Bridge said, long time Rage Head. Of course, it is a very long time indeed, isn't it? But yeah, good time you're back in the old stream, my good sir. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors, shall we then? Of course, we have done 13 rounds of this season so far. It's very precariously close in the World Championship, isn't it, for bronze? With Theo does have a Grand Prix, well, over a Grand Prix wins advantage at the moment of 33 points in front of Enright in second. Ayrton is third, he's 42 points adrift, and Ayrton, unfortunately, though, is it's not very well tonight. This is the first time since Monza Season 1 of any ALR week that Ayrton has not taken part in a Grand Prix. So that is a long time. A very long time indeed then. So it's going to be very unusual not to commentate on Ayrton. So he's not very well. So hopefully Ayrton gets better as well. But he is third in the championship. 6 points behind him is Echo, who is fourth. But Echo's not very well either, unfortunately then. So I think that them two got too close to each other in terms of the championship. Anyway, he's 6 points away from Ayrton, but he's not very well either. Swanshank's in 5th position. Hopefully he's okay. He is in the Alpha Tari. He's 22 points away from Echo, with Silent Shifter moving into a very strong 6th position there. Blitz and Silent Shifter both in 6th at the moment there on 52 points. 1 point further back is Vinci's on his superb year. Shadows in 9th position there. Joseph completes the top 10 of the championship then. In the bottom 3 then we have RDW, we have Guna, and we have a new returnee then. A new returnee? Do you have a new returnee? I don't think we do we? But we do have a driver who was meant to participate in the first was meant to participate in Bronze when he was first promoted, and that was, of course, the first ever COBALT World Champion, which is, of course, that you mad bro. So he is taking out the Mercedes seat, which Mackenzie you had, but unfortunately Mackenzie's had to bow out of ALR Bronze, unfortunately. And so Mackenzie is, so it's you mad bro who's driving in the place of Mackenzie. Now, you mad bro has never started a Bronze race before, albeit he was scheduled to take part in the Aston Martin team, wasn't he? Him and Joseph was meant to be the stars of the show for the coming up from Cobalt, but unfortunately that never materialized. However, it will materialize here tonight. Silent saying hello again. Let's go for this. Might be in the wall, but we'll see that. Vintage even though then Theo. Hello, Sean, and fire and a blue heart. I love it. Hoping for a miracle tonight. Vintage is that. I hope for a miracle every night, to be honest. But I do have a miracle, and the miracle is ALR Monday to Wednesday. Then, of course, a lovely little plug in there as well. Then, yeah, so good stuff indeed. We have also got Diash there as a lovely wave hand. Some lovely wave in hands there, and a lovely heart indeed. I'm loving your emojis tonight, fantastic. Senator saying hope for better than yesterday's race. Senator unfortunately had a bit of a difficult race, so I think he I can't remember if I think didn't you finish 14th or 15th, unfortunately. Siege for an easy win then. OMG, Siege then is oh goodness me, is Siege in this race, is he? Because he was very quick yesterday as well, wasn't he? Siege was then, so goodness me. This might be interesting indeed then. Critical by who? So that's his best owl impression, I would hazard a guess then. We got Vince saying reserves to dominate, I think. German, evening to you, Sean. What's your favourite chocolate? That is the hardest question I think I've answered all week. It depends on the day, to be honest. This is going to have to. I'm going to have to give it a lot of thought, and I do honest. At the moment I'm really into the Galaxy. Oh gosh, but then again, I like the Aero as well. Joseph has also joined the session as well, so we've got 4 hosted drivers, good stuff. Oh, that's a I'm gonna have to get back to you, German, because I don't actually know, to be honest. Then it depends on the day of the week, doesn't it? Really. Then today I'm going to say Aero because I do love the bubbly chocolate. It's delicious, isn't it? Good stuff. Then. Gunnar saying evening, Sean. Then good luck to good luck everyone. For Gunnar as well. His favorite chocolate is a 6 foot. Oh my gosh. Charles, I wish that I had a chocolate bar which is 6 foot tall. My goodness gracious me. Anyway, let's move on. Sarah's much the same. Why is Siege in bronze? He's too fast. Then so we thought Scarlet by saying yes, it is what it is. I guess. And Gunnar saying both lovely chocolate. Love Kinder Bueno there or Down Bar. Dime Bar. Oh. I haven't had a dime bar in ages. Yes, I'm got Tesco's don't sell them. I'm absolutely. I might have to change me supermarkets, my supermarket shop kind of thing then. But they do have a slogan of every little helps then. So that's and I do need a lot of help then, not a little help, especially getting around those aisles then. I'm appalling at the old. And then Reese's as well. Oof. Gosh, you guys talk about chocolate. It's making me tingle all over. I do love chocolate. Just watching Diashi, who's in the Williams tonight. Then he had a bit of a. I hope you don't mind me saying, but he had a bit of a. He was a bit anomalous, wasn't he, for some of the race last night, wasn't he? Diashi was. We had a full wet weather race, didn't we? From start to finish, it was heavy rain now from start to finish out. Full wet tyres was the way to go throughout the race. And we did see Marsky, I think it was, who won on the intermediate tyres, and both Williamses. It looks like that Chappie may have gone the way of Diashi here, and that may. Oh goodness me! There and Diashi there is that's completely ruined this up there for Diashi. Diashi is super sub for the Williams tonight. Of course, Iveco not very well, and he is not going to be too happy with his teammate Chappie there. He might be furious actually, so not happy at all about that one. No, it's not good, is it? I got one of them massive shared Cadbury bars up downstairs. I'm going to go eat it now. Oh, goodness me. I've been saying it's dry all night there as well. But I ain't going to be dry in my room at the moment now because I'm going to be salivating. Oh, my goodness me. This talk of chocolate, it's absolutely superb, isn't it? Of course, Halloween was only a couple of nights ago. Unfortunately, I haven't got... I don't live with my nephews anymore, so I can't really use them as an excuse to go out and get some chocolate and stuff. My favourite time of year is definitely Easter though, isn't it? I do love the Cadbury's cream eggs. Oh my word there. I like to bite the top off and then I just like to lick the insides. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? The old, I do really enjoy Cadbury's cream eggs. Absolutely good stuff. Yeah, but Easter is usually my favourite time of the year as well. Absolutely fantastic. And Christmas as well, actually, because I like the chocolate sometimes. Would be dry. It's not silver then. Serious Mushroom was there. Serious Mushroom there, a bit bitter. It's such a shame for Serious Mushroom actually last night because he was doing a superb job. Unfortunately, he did make a wrong strategy call, didn't he? He came into the pits and well, it's easy for me to say now, isn't it? Starting to come around the final two turns there. Serious Mushroom there as we got a debutant tonight, and it is actually Condon Controller. Is that his name? Condon Controller. Then I'm just going to call him Controller. Control teller. Controller. Is out of qualifying, unfortunately. That is what I should have been talking about, really. But yes, so centre is fast at the moment. With Science Shift in second. Unfortunately, our debutant tonight, Controller, is unfortunately out of this qualifying so far, and so is Siege as well. So we've lost two cars already. And Roscoe, goodness me, what is going on out there tonight? And Roscoe is looking. Something going on in the pit lane. I'm not sure, but that Ferrari does look a bit in an unusual position, doesn't it? As I'm just taking a look then, I don't think anything's gone wrong in the pit lane, has it there? So we're just taking a look now. Oh, no, it's not in the pit lane. It's in the pit wall, not the pit lane itself. Theo has gone second fastest at the moment in car 48. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I put Halloween a couple of months ago. Did I say a couple of months ago? I meant a couple of weeks ago. No, a couple of days ago even. Goodness me. I have no concept of time then. We've got an Alfa Romeo just starting to lap off of Camera Racer. We've got a Red Bull out there as well. And don't think it's Irvine is starting his lap. Here he is then, Irvine then, in the beautiful white liveried Red Bull. There's a Haas around the final turn as well. I think that's Enright. It is Enright starting his lap as well. Then, of course, the man who's second in the World Championship. So he is, I think that since the beginning of the season then, Enright has been quite quick, hasn't he? But he just needs to get the race results in, doesn't he? Enright does. As In qualifying, he is superb, isn't he? But once again, qualifying the race and the LR is two completely different phases, isn't there? As he's waddling over the track there, which probably isn't the best way to go about your lap. Here's you, man, bro, making his debut tonight. Then in the bronze, good 17, lovely orange helmet there from you, man, bro, the COBALT World Champion. And I think when we was doing our season review, you, man, bro, was one of my favourites. I think to really go for a double promotion. Is it still doable? It is still doable because the Bronze World Championship is so tightly contested. Ayrton is currently in the final promotion spot, as we have got Sammy out of qualifying as well, and that's the same corner. There's something going on the last corner, and I'm not sure what is occurring out there. Chappie coming into the pits then, but yes, Sammy has done the same problem. Sammy in the Mercedes design in replace for Diego, but that is not good at all, is it there? And unfortunately, I don't think the Sammy out qualifying as well. We've lost a lot of drivers already in this qualifying section. Goodness me. Well, this last corner is a killer, unfortunately. So that is unfortunate indeed. Then I'm struggling to keep up at the moment. Goodness gracious me. Then there's a lot of action going on here tonight. Then Alibi is so disgusted by this. He has left the session there. Hopefully he'll come back in the not too distant future. We've got more yellow flags in the final turn of 22 and 23. I was going to say that 22 and 23 is not. I didn't think it was on my radar as maybe being a difficult corner, but I can't say much because I crashed there in qualifying in PBE a week ago under the safety car as well. So you know, I'm not anyone to really say anything about that. Is Irvine's done 2 minutes there, and that's more of a wet time lap than a dry time lap there. I think Irvine's made a mistake, hasn't he? Though? So he's going to have to go around again. And Felipe in the second Haas car then, who is navigated his way then. RDW unfortunately not here tonight. Then Felipe and Jamie Enroy both got the same numbers and the same helmet design. So unfortunately, they are both Critical Alibi's asked if he's disconnected. He has disconnected that. Unfortunately, Felipe goes at 6 fastest at the moment in the Haas car. So that's not too shabby there. I've got a Williams there coming across the line. Camera racer there, 1.5 seconds down then. Good stuff, and no, it's not good stuff indeed, is it there? So we're just going to watch Diash now then, as his first lap was unfortunately ruined by his teammate there. So the two Williams drivers have not gone to the best start here, have they? So there might be a bit of a war of words going on in the old Williams camp there. So I think I may see out the Williams garage there. And there's another car in front of us there, and once again then Diash there almost getting wrong footed. And goodness me, he's not having a very good time at all with the traffic out there. Diash there, he is going to be absolutely furious, isn't he? Anyway, yes, there's Cody Bridge there, and is not happy. Is not happy about that. Serious Rush is saying I made a stupid stop for no reason there. To be fair though, I wouldn't have come in. I would have come in the pits. To be fair, because I would have been, because it just didn't feel right to not come in the pits, does it? Because you, it's very unusual to have a no pit stop strategy. Of course, in Formula 1 races, you have to have a mandatory of 1 pit stop, of course, then, because you have to use 2 types of tyres. Then I've just smacked off me graphic there, so that's not good. So yes, you have to use 2 types of tyres in a Formula 1 these days, but of course in a wet race, whether it's the intermediate or wet tyres, that doesn't matter. Then that rule goes out the window, doesn't it? Diashi just coming into the final part of the lap then. Alibi, yes, you did, unfortunately. You did unfortunately disconnect that. So it's worth saying I'm not very good at the old struts there as well. Didn't even touch the curb, it just spinelled it for me. I would say the same, but unfortunately I did touch the curb and I went straight off it, and I thought I caught it, but then the barrier is too close there, of course. You can't really, I was just an idiot really, as I was crashing on the safety car. It's appalling, isn't it, to say the very least there. So Sam crashed there when he was at the 4 that is the 4 limit of the car, and so there is now, it's very easy to do, isn't it, where you're pushing on that, as we got Shadows going at 9 faster than the AlphaTauri in car 23. Lovely. Everyone over the Anderson Bridge, and of course, hope everyone knows why it's called the Anderson Bridge now. Of course, we all found out on Sunday, didn't we? As well as there will be a test tomorrow to find out if anyone's been listening. Unfortunately, I'm not going to pass that test because even when I read it out on Monday, I completely forgot because I couldn't remember what year it was open. So there we go. And of course, Curly and his dad both told all of us about that, didn't they? As well. So you can tell why I needed Wikipedia for college years. Ayrton is saying, hello, Sean, love you, and good luck to Bronze and McLaren. Too ill to race, but hopefully good for the race, said. So Serge said, yes, Cryptic. Come on, camera lad as well. Gordo saying, I give Connects a hard times every time at this track because he spun under the safety car and he gave me the win in a different league. Obviously, it happened over a year ago, but he still gets it. Of course he should. As I'd still give Dan Murphy Jip for me winning in Barcelona, when me beating him when we raced in Barcelona a number of years ago. I think it was on the 2019 game, or maybe even earlier than that. And Bernard is a full. It was a full wet race, I believe, and I was just superb that day. I was like Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari in '96. Albeit, let's not talk about the fact that Dan, I think, had 2 pit stops that day. I don't think I had any pit stops at all. So Dan had an extra pit stop. It was very close to the back of me, but that's because I was just trying to put on the show for everyone, wasn't I, of course? And there's nothing about the fact that I'm very slow. Gunnar down into turn 15, and Gunnar at the moment now would like to get back at the point set. It has been a lot of races now since Gunnar has last scored. It is over a season now, because Gunnar has not scored in coming up to 2 seasons, and I think it would be almost 2 seasons actually, so that would be about I think it's about 40 races out for Gunnar, so he needs to get himself back into the points pronto for Gunnar in the Aston Martin. Now he has dropped down from a gold to silver, sorry, not from silver to a bronze, and I think that Gunnar is off, he's in the wall, he is out of qualifying there. Gunnar is there, and he is going to be absolutely furious with me, and furious with his car as well. But Gunnar, there's no grip on that final turn, and that's another driver in the wall. Oh dear, that's not good at all, is it there? Oh my goodness gracious me, that is a huge impact as well there for the Aston Martin driver. And gosh, we have lost Siege, we've lost Gunnar, Sammy, Roscoe, and Controller, and also Controller. I think that's right, isn't it? Controller. It doesn't sound right to me. But Controller also out of the race as well, making his debut tonight. And that is such a shame then for those drivers then. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars already out of qualifying then. And all the drivers got to do really is beat a 140 by Gunnar to get yourself through them fields out of qualifying, but it's safe and sound in the pits. So just watching the Red Bull driver Vintage then, 11th position then, he should be safe and through. So we're going to look at what Chappie's doing, who hasn't set a time yet then, as of course, but he should be safely through if he just sets a reasonable time. Then 3 DRS zones around this street circuit, and as it just now flying down into turn 7 as well. Now I have the finish flag in the game. It is absolutely beautiful there for silent shifting, and that is great to see as well, isn't it? To have the finish flag. Good stuff indeed, isn't it? I wonder if YouTube has the Welsh flag as well, because there's Chappie has just tapped the outside barrier. Now hopefully I'm damaged his wing slightly, and he's locked. It felt like he overshot the Singapore sling there slightly, albeit it's not the Singapore sling anymore. But you know me, then I live in the past. But Chappie is carrying on anyway. He's got 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Diashi saying bad luck with traffic there. Diashi is saying yes indeed, and we've seen that both times out of Diashi's had issues. I don't think Alibi's back in the session yet, and that may be a problem. Billet has not set a time over there. Billet coming back into action as well in bronze there. Billet quite high up in the championship, of course. He is at joint 5th with Silent Shift then, so Billet's had a superb season in my eyes. Silent Shift and said, commentators curse said, yep, I got whatever I say, it just seems to go pear-shaped for the drivers there. I'm so sorry, I do apologise profuse. I don't do it on purpose. I think that Gunnar and New Potato must think that I do it on purpose, because they have had a lot of bad luck, and it's usually after I've said something quite nice about them. There's a wheel in the middle of the track there. I hope that's not Gunnar's wheel, because he's forgotten. He needs to get that back to the pits. Just watching as the Ashley's gone as 8 fastest. He's happy with that, isn't he? As he now crawls back into the pits. I bet Sean jinxed me again, as unfortunately Gunnar, I have jinxed you. I was saying nice things about you as well. Well, I was saying that you may need to get some points then, as it's almost going to be 2 seasons now since you last scored there. Of course, remember Gunnar was in gold, and in gold it's very difficult to score at the best of times, isn't it? Because the gold is the gold standard of LR, and fair play to Gunnar for sticking with it. And a lot of drivers like me would have caught it a day after one race, and so hats off to Gunnar. yeah, but yes, he's got a bit of a barren spell for a pointless streak at the moment that Gunnar has there. And I was saying, no, that, but unfortunately, I didn't even get to finish my sentence. Serious was saying that it wasn't me this time, Gunnar. I'm sure I've missed. I believe in you, Gunnar, lad. That Serious Rush said maybe not. Then actually, I think that I'm going to blame Serious Mushroom actually because I think he mentioned that just as Gunnar hit the wall, so it can't have been me. So I'm going to wash my hands. Enroy's just gone third fastest on a 37.4 at the moment. Theo's second fastest, then, but Senna who's running away at the moment there in the McLaren. Senna and McLaren just sounds fitting, doesn't it? Absolutely good stuff indeed then. But here's Irvine at the moment there on the back straight. And that's Simon Shifter says he did really badly. You're lucky I like you, Sean. Oh, goodness gracious me. I'm quite lucky indeed that. As, my word, if that's a Williams off there, isn't it? That's a Chappie who is completely gone off there. We've had a lot of drivers go into that bar over the years, and a very lot of skilled drivers as well. I think Iger Schwari's been in there. I know that Bruno Senna's been there as well, because he was very unhappy as the marshals didn't go wave the yellow flags, did they? I'm sure that Ricciardo crashed there as well in 2013. Literally the race after where he signed his Red Bull contract in 2014. So that wasn't a very good time there from Daniel Ricciardo, but of course that didn't matter too much, did it? Because the rest, as I say, is history. But they're just sorting himself out. I don't think Alaboy's going to get out for a lap, so Alaboy's going to be almost at the back of the field. I think it's going to be both Alpine cars right at the back of the field. Unfortunately, then that is not good. That's not good stuff at all, is it? And that is such a shame then. I'm glad the race is tonight because tomorrow I'm going to watch hockey, and after the game I will not be fit to drive then. Hockey is a very... Billet's off the circuit there. As I was just reading about... I was just reading the comments as well. Goodness gracious me, you are a chatty bunch tonight. I absolutely love it. Billet there, who's just crawling around at the moment. He's 20th on the grid there. Enright, who's just going back to the pits then. So, yeah, Billet there just overshot the corner there. This is a very leisurely outlap here from Billet. I'm wondering then, he's treating these tyres. Oh my goodness me! And I'm not sure what Enright was doing there, but Enright is not even on a lap. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that then. We're coming across the line and Billet was very good reactions there for Billet. We're on board with it now, going down into turn number 1 then. As Sean bus thrown under. Indeed, there, of course, I washed my hands of any fault of my own there because I don't like getting the blame for anything. Billet down the back straight then. I'm not sure then. I'm thinking that I wonder if everyone just ran out of fuel and was just trying to get out of Billet's way. But that did look a bit messy there. But no harm, no foul, I say then. As long as there is no issues there for Billet, and away he goes. Lovely helmet design, by the way, from Billet as well. Good stuff indeed then. Sam asks if anyone's seen that floating tyre. I think it's Gunnar's floating tyre, or it's Sam's floating this. I think it's either yours or Gunnar's, Sam. I suggest to go and pick it up. Absolutely disgraceful behaviour from you guys. No littering, of course, then here in Singapore. And going down into the Singapore sling as well. The checker flag is fluttering in the beautiful night air here tonight in Singapore. The first ever night race in Formula 1, which debuted back in 2008. I feel so old saying that because this is the first ever live practice session I ever watched in my little livelihood of a Formula 1 fan there. Of course, I was so excited about this night race concept, and goodness me, that first race was absolutely chaotic, wasn't it? Of course, it was known for Crashgate now, wasn't it, where it got Fernando Alonso his first of 2 Grand Prix wins in 2008, didn't it? After his teammate crashed just at that corner before, just that corner where Billet was, and of course saved cars out absolutely supremely well, and he went on to win the Grand Prix. And of course, as I was saying last night, this potentially may have cost Felipe Massa his championship, maybe. Out of the final turn there comes Billet. And he is through into qualifying at number 2 then. So good stuff indeed there for Billet. But Gordo reckons there was a floating tyre there yesterday as well. I think there was actually, because someone crashed heavily in qualifying yesterday. Setter half a second in front of the championship leader Theo already at this stage. Had very impressive times indeed then. We are looking at the bottom 5, or should I say 6 drivers. So controller is out of this session. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see what controller can do there, and we didn't get to see what Alaboy did either. So Alpine now, who Alpine not having a very good first season in the LR, are they? I must say they have been struggling quite a lot. Roscoe out in 18th position, Siege in 17th, Sammy in 16th position, and Gunnar will qualify 15th on the grid then, as unfortunately. He did get a time on the board then, but he got a time on the board just as he was going through sideways there, and he is going to be 15th on the grid, unfortunately. And then now we're just getting ready for qualifying too. Then I'm just oh goodness me, so silent chips. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but we're going to just leave him to it, shall we? As he's doing some kind of witchcraft or something by the looks of that. Good some indeed. I've got a joke for you. Goodness me, my punchlines are appalling, Gordo. I'll read it out in a minute because I've got to compose myself then as well. I'm trying not to read them out before because of I got to, as Emirates got a qualifying 2 ban, of course, said as well as I was just reading the notifications actually, so I'm trying to get rid of all these. Oh, it's Middlesbrough playing tonight as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. That, of course, one of the new bits and pieces for ALR this week. Remember that we've got a week full of action tonight. Tomorrow night is COBALT as well, but of course we do have a week off thanks to Mexico. As goodness gracious me, then Philip is Felipe. I'll get it right there. And I've called him Phil now, haven't I? But Felipe there was just very slow coming out of the pits there. It looks like he just wasn't going anywhere, was he? Didn't have much power. Billa has gone out straight away on the soft tyres, and let's see how this one goes then. So who is your favourite for pole position then? I must say then that we're going to just take a look at these at polls. Well, 8 votes already, and fantastic stuff indeed. Enright cannot get pole position now, as unfortunately he has a qualifying 2 ban. But if anyone does vote for Enright, then of course, actually, pull him in. If you think Enright would have got pole, put that in there anyway, because I think that Enright would definitely have been in there and having a go. So I would definitely have voted for Enright if he didn't have a qualifying 2 ban. So at the moment, Theo has got 44% of the votes, along with someone else. And I have a feeling that someone else, maybe Senna actually, because he was superb, wasn't he, in the opening qualifying exchange there. Felipe is gone in front. We've got a race within a race here, haven't we? There's Felipe wants to be the first driver on track there. Remember in qualifying 2 that we are aiming to lose 4 drivers in this instant. Well, 3 because Enright's got a qualifying ban there. Now I think he needs to retire, please, Enright then, as I think Liam has just asked Enright to retire. Of course, if you get qualifying ban, you must retire, of course, then, don't you? Wilson has gone centre for pole then, and how many times have we heard that then, even in the real world of Formula 1? Of course, Ayrton Senna, one of the best qualifiers of all time, and one of the best ever qualifying laps you will ever see. Just go to YouTube and just watch. Oh goodness me, there's a lot of shenanigans going on there. I think it's an unwritten rule between the drivers, isn't there, about maybe not overtaking each other as they're trying to back off. But I think Felipe was Felipe got a bit too slow for Billett's liking it. But these two dicing over track position, and this is not going to help either driver's lap here, is it? So a bit of shenanigans going on there between Felipe and Billet. I don't know, but he does have a bit of slipstream. But this track is a place where you don't really want too much slipstream, do you? Because it's going to be the dirty out as Felipe having a look then. But yes, and Felipe has also invalidated his time, unfortunately, and he's going to drop off the bat then. But yeah, that's very messy for both drivers there. So they were overtaking each other on their outlaps as well. So not too good so far, unfortunately. Theo has got 45% of the vote. Now he's got 50% of the vote as well. Good somebody there. So Theo is currently winning that vote as well. So yes, that's also the new way about Driver of the Day as well. Of course, the Driver of the Day will be voted with 5 laps to go in the Grand Prix as well. It'll be in the YouTube stream now. If you feel like a driver should get the Driver of the Day, there'll be 3 options there. You can pick whoever you like then. And of course, which I think is a lot more fair actually, isn't it there? Because the Driver of the Day will take into account the whole of the driver's session here tonight when Kichapi is come to a screeching halt then on out of turn 10, and that is him done and dusted, I think. And so that is a big blow indeed. So that is such a shame then, unfortunately, for the Williams driver then. So a bit of a messy session so far for the Williams drivers then. Here's Billet then, who have really compromised himself to start off this lap then, and it's not been the best of laps since he goes across the line. He's at a 39.2 so far. Felipe is crawling back into the pits, well, taking a novel line coming into the pits there. All about camera race then, also on the he's on the medium tires, and he is back in the pits well, but Theo is staying out there, and Theo goes fast on 37.5 on the medium compound tires there. Hashtag Centre for pole position from Dylan as well, and 12 votes, and no one's voted for Jamie Enright. The reason why that is, though, I think is because everyone knows that he's got a qualifying ban. But I think, though, that but I would say, though, So it's gone fastest. I would say though that if you think that Enright would have got pole position today, vote for him. I would have, as I said, I would have voted for Enright because he is a very quick customer in qualifying. So listen to these stats there for Enright this season in qualifying trim. Then Enright's in 11 races. He's been on pole position 5 times, and that's just under 50% strike rate for Enright. He has been very quick, hasn't he? But Theo in the last couple of races has really upped his game in qualifying and has really started to stretch his legs in the World Championship as well, hasn't he? Irvine's done an 0-4 in the middle sector, so so I think the Theo is doing a pretty good job as of late, hasn't he? He's been leading the championship for quite a long period of time, but at the moment there he's just in such a good sweet spot, isn't he, Theo? And so fantastic stuff there. Irvine out of the final turn, and in Irvine we're also starting to see the best from Irvine as well. In Russia he was very unlucky in the end of the day, wasn't he, for Irvine, but as he was on the front row as well. But then of course we had a 4-star, didn't we, there, as Irvine caused all kinds of mischief, didn't he? The naughty little boy out there, was he, in the Red Bull. But of course the restart, and unfortunately Irvine didn't have a very good race there. But hopefully he can have a good race. Remember, he has the talent. Of course, he's a COBALT Grand Prix winner, and you don't win in COBALT without having some kind of speed. And COBALT is still a quick customer indeed. Crazy pace from centre. Gunnar is saying that Serious Russia has picked someone else because he's being petty then. Which of course I thought he was picking someone else because the setter's monstrous speed at the moment there. Or maybe is it Irvine there, because Irvine has also put himself into the hot seat as well now, hasn't he? You mad bro, then it's his debut here in bronze tonight. We've had a very action-packed season in bronze, I must say. There's been a lot of safety cars, a lot of incidents and accidents as well, which from a commentator's point of view has been absolutely fantastic. The only race which was quite difficult to commentate on was actually the Italian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, that was quite horrific to say the least. But of course, that's in the past. This is the present now. Shadows comes across the line now. Of course, the finish line in a different place than the start line. The finish line has to be within line of the FIA garage there. And Vintage has come up right in the middle, right in front of Shadows there. So Shadows, I don't think that's hurt him too much on this night in history, has it? Now down at the back straight as well, out of turn 5 around this 5-kilometre long circuit. So it's quite a long circuit, this one. His average speed is quite low as well here in Singapore. Shadows has gone purple in the first intermediate split time. That's a very good time indeed there for the AlphaTauri Honda. Then of course Honda has been pulling out of F1 at the end of the season. We've got 2 more seasons with Honda and ALR, haven't we, before they pull out as well when we get the F1 2022 game. And also remember as well that in season number, what season are we on? In season number 8, we will have the new rules of Formula 1, which Pat Simmons was saying, saying not too long ago, that the new F1 cars are only 0.5 of a second slower than the current gen, which is pretty phenomenal to say the least, especially for the with all the supposedly downforce they have lost there, and all the dirt, as well, because I think it's more of a ground effect kind of car, isn't it, or something like that, of course, which Martin Brundle's been saying that for years, that they need more ground effect aerodynamics, because then it will improve the overtaking there. So they got there better late than never then, but it remains to be seen whether that's going to work or not. But very interesting stuff indeed there. And to be honest, the cars are still quite heavy there. I think that I would like them a bit lighter really, but maybe they're heavier for a reason. Maybe to help the bigger drivers. And Shadow goes across the line. He is 4th fastest in the AlphaTauri. That's a good time indeed there for Shadows. Then is that going to be safe and sound though? I don't think it is. Then Vintage is just starting to start. He's been my star of the season so far. Vintage has there. Really good 7D there, closely followed by Ayrton. Very good 7D and Theo actually. Silent Shifting goes full fast, and he has really come into bronze there and really ruffled the feathers, hasn't he? You mad bro, on his debut tonight then, and he is looking very on par as well, as he's now gone into 3rd position. I reckon you mad bro is definitely going to be in there in the conversation for maybe a pole position, or in the top half of the table then perhaps then. What happened to Jamie? What happened to Jamie? Serious Russian was taking a laboratory break. Then, yes, he's got a qualifying tube, and unfortunately, Enright has. So Felipe, his teammate, is gone 8th faster than Felipe has in the Haas car. You can't tell the difference between Enright and Felipe because they both got default helmet colours, and they both got number 2 as well. Joseph may be in trouble with the FIA here and with ALR management as well. I think Liam is going to be throwing the book at him. He's got no helmet, has he? So that is absolutely appalling performance there from Joseph. He is also in Lance Stroll's car as as well then. So lack of health and safety for Joseph, and also thievery as well as a foot as he is stolen. Lance Stroll's Aston Martin now. Of course, he's got car number 18 now on the nose cone here. There's Joseph going over the Anderson Bridge there, down the back straight, down Raffles Boulevard here. As of course we had some interesting battles down there, didn't we, last night? And Joseph is on a lap of money. It's not currently through. Enright then and Chappie will not get through. They're both out of qualifying. Senna is happy at the top of the timesheet, and why wouldn't he be? He's looking very good indeed. And lovely helmet design there from Vintage, by the way. Of course, I'm quite shallow. I'm quite shallow, of course, then, as I do love helmet designs. That's the most important part of the driver's repertoire. Vintage is currently out of qualifying. He needs to find 7/10 of a second. Billet is currently in qualified. Here comes Joseph, a former COBALT Grand Prix winner, over the line, and Joseph goes... Well, I don't know, to be honest, because the graphic hasn't updated then. As it looks like that for some reason his timing beam is not... I think that his timing is completely off then. So you're going to have to question the official FIA timekeeper here, as that is completely wrong there, because he's still doing a 27 there. So this is an ultra long lap here from Joseph, or it's a very quick lap indeed then. I'm not sure what way to put it at the moment. And here comes Billet, and goodness me, look how close it gets to the barrier. Lovely stuff indeed there. Diashi starting his lap as well. 4 minutes ago in this qualifying session, we were losing 2 drivers in this one. Chappie is going to be 14th. Enright is currently in 12th position, but I think that Joseph will move up a couple positions in a minute when the timing screen updates itself. Billet out of the final turn, and Billet then across the line, and Billet goes 9 faster in front of Diashi. Good time indeed there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Lovely. FIFA Gears coming back into the pits, and I think Shatters is also coming back in the pits as well. No, he's not at the moment. He's a 10th for a second up in the second split time. Shatters. That will not get him in front of Silent Shifting, but of course he is not interested in that at the moment. Now all he's interested in is getting through into qualifying 3, and that is being 10th or higher in the fastest timing screens. 10th and a half up then. Lovely 17 then. Theo is currently winning the vote as well, as he's on 47%, and Enright has got 5% of the vote so far, as of course said, because I think I would have voted for Enright as well. So he is a quick customer in qualifying, no doubt about that one. Just coming down the back straight then. As Senna is asking, where's his name on the poll? I think you're under someone else, unfortunately, Senna is. But of course, I think that because Senna is a reserve driver tonight, then I think that's why he's going under the other category as someone else, unfortunately. But yes, I think the Senna will be a very good shout indeed, won't he? Just on board with Diash, then he's coming into the final part then as well. Then as now let's see what the end of this lap is going to be then for Diashi, accelerating up then, and let's see what we can do there. Blame Michael Massey for Joseph's long time then. Yeah, Michael Massey needs to pull up his socks, doesn't he? Diashi doesn't. Goodness me, he's found a second on that final sector there. Great time indeed there for Diashi. 4 fastest, that should get himself through, but he does have an extra lap on those tyres. Is that going to be crucial in this race, in this qualifying session, and in the race as well? It ain't going to be crucial, I don't think, in the qualifying, but it's going to be crucial in the Grand Prix. Felipe is out of qualifying, unfortunately, and he is going to be nervously looking over his shoulder there, but Billet has got to find 2/10 of a second. Vintage has got to find some time as well. Theo is just trundling down the pit lane. He's the only Ferrari left in this qualifying session, with Roscoe in the barrier. Vintage is out of qualifying as well, so it's between Billet and Felipe who is going to get through into qualifying 3 then. So that is going to get very interesting indeed. So thank you for the votes. There were 19 people have voted as well. That's absolutely superb stuff indeed. I love it. So yes, Theo's got 47% of the vote, and 42% there for someone else. Silent Shifting on 5%, along with Enright as well. Silent Shifting, don't want to be, of course, I don't want to jump the gun too much here, but I think that Silent Shifting looks to be a little behind the 8 ball at the moment, as Alibi is finally in the session there, but unfortunately he is already out of qualifying. He's down in 19th position on the grid, then in the Alpine car. So that is such a shame. As Diash there is just coming back into the pits, and we got an outlap for Theo, as being a bit as Joseph is now coming in to, well, he's coming out of the pits there. His timing screen has started already. He's also on 2-lap of medium tires. I'm not sure if I believe that, but we'll find out anyway. But well, I probably should have paid up more attention earlier on then, really, shouldn't I? Otherwise, because you only get 1 set of medium compound tires. That as we're down the back straight. Theo then is not really pushing too hard at the moment, is he there? Of course, he doesn't want to take too much life out of the tyres. Then, of course, if you get into qualifying for which Theo is at the moment, he will have to start on these exact tyres. Then, so whatever life you take out of it now, then, well, out of these tyres now, will come back and bite you later on. Then, Theo is through. Whatever happens, then, but I'm wondering if Theo had some issues on his first set. Then, but having said that, he's only got one set. Then, so he's just adding more life out of it. He's adding more race laps out of these tyres, isn't he? There for car 48. So, is this going to be a problem? And there's a lot of I think in terms of the race strategy, you do not want to go on the soft tyres, do you? Bullet is on the soft tyres, but he wants track position. Track position is king around here, isn't it? We seen it last night. The fresh wet tyres wasn't really doing much, was it? And of course, for the early stoppers, as yes, Theo's coming to the pits, so he's decided then that he is happy with those tyres, and so he's coming in the pits, and he's going to lean back and enjoy the rest of qualifying. As we go under the grandstand, so that's another unique feature. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then, and just now on board with Bullet coming into turn at 22 and at 23 then, and now coming across the line, and here we go then, over the line he goes then, and let's see what Bullet can do then, and we're on board now with well, I think he's missed out. He's missed out, hasn't he? The checker flag has fallen now. And oh dear. So Billet is done. He has really mistimed his run here. And Billet is out of qualifying in 11th position there. Maybe, but he'll be happy with 11th position technically. Because that may be a good place to start in the race tonight then. Of course, Wilson started, where did he started? Outside the top 15 last night. I think he started 18th or 19th. Or maybe 17th. And he come through to finish 4th in the end, didn't he? As of course, he got his 5-second penalty removed, which was quite instant. Good stuff indeed there for the admins there last night. They're just throwing it in there straight away. They knew exactly what the problem was there. Of course, you can get your 5-second penalty removed if you get a 5-second penalty unfairly added under the safety car. Chappie out with Enright, Vintage and Bullet out qualifying. No soft tyre in sight then. Last night we had one soft runner, didn't we? I can't remember what happened to that person, which just shows that I'm getting too old for this game now, and really, I'm going to have to write everything down. Critical Boy saying that Wilson started P19, I think. Indeed, he did. Oh, actually, no, Wilson started 20th, didn't he? Because he got disqualified for parking in a very unusual position at the pit exit, didn't he? Which I think that him and Ayrton must have been swapping notes that day. So, of course, that's another driver that got disqualified for leaving the pit lane as well, which I do find I do find stuff like that. As much as an F1 driver, I shouldn't find it funny, but I do find it funny. So I do love things like that. I also do have a crack a smile when someone crashes coming in the pit lane as well, as Favre did quite heavily in Australia in one pre-season race, which still lives with me right now. Maldonado also done the same as well in the Spanish Grand Prix. I always bring that up because the fact that my beloved David Coulthard also crashed coming in the pit lane in Adelaide 95, which cost him his second Grand Prix win of his career in the Williams Renault, unfortunately, which still hurts me, but never mind. Irvine, my pick for pole position. Liam is saying, and looking good tonight. He is indeed, isn't he? Irvine is there, and I think that Irvine has been a bit unlucky so far. I see there, Irvine is very happy with that, and yes, why wouldn't you be? Critical Alibi saying everyone's starting on medium tyres, that no one wanting the challenge to go on softs to make that interesting. Not by the looks of it, unfortunately. Wilson makes a habit of hitting the pit side. Yeah, I know Wilson's done it as well, but of course, I don't know. I don't like to bring Wilson up because he's got dirt on me, which I don't want him to. I don't want him to reveal. So anyone, of course, so just on board as we go for the Anderson Bridge, then, and Diash there is just on a lap at the moment. So 9 cars out of 10 are out on circuit at the moment. Joseph, the only driver not out on the pit side, but not sure I believe that or not. Is his timing his timing sensors not working too great at the moment, unfortunately. So that's not good there. So hopefully we can get that fixed for the race itself. Well, I say we, the royal we. I mean the actual Codemasters might pull their socks up as well. just on board as every driver is now out on circuit, and here we go then. Let's go on board of a lap, shall we? So let's enjoy this lap from Diashi's point of view. Out of the final turn then, and going over the grid hatch as well. DRS then coming down into turn 1. And Serious Russia wants to know about my dirt now. Oh, as Diashi is not going to be too happy with that curb on the outside, is he? Yeah, so that's not very good at all for Diashi. I'm trying to think of something funny now, but I can't think of anything funny about me dirt really, because unfortunately you guys probably know a lot about me, which I probably don't really want you to know, but there we go. But I got to say I'm an all Sharon man, and so all that kind of stuff. But coming as Camera Racer coming down into turn 7 as well. Car 69, the Alfa Romeo, and into turn 8 as well, and away he goes on board Camera Racer. Then of course he had a great race in Austria, didn't he? Which that was such a shame for Camera Racer. That race sticks out in my head because he was on such good form that day. He really was indeed, was he? There, he was very unlucky there as he had a collision at the top of the hill at turn 3. Technically turn 2 for Formula 1 car, but it's turn 3 on the official track map. But there we go. I know Crofty has his issues with track limits. Luckily we don't here, but I do have my issues with quarter numbers there. So we all have our buttons and we don't like to be pushed, and that is one of mine. It's such a silly thing as well, because it doesn't really affect the racer whatsoever, does it? But there we go. I just like to have a moan every now and again. Here's Diashi then in car 69, and I think he is now going to be the joint most experienced driver on the bronze grid now, isn't he? Along with Ayrton. Let me get out my old stat book, shall we? And look me, yes, he's now on 43 Grand Prix starts along with Ayrton. So that is the most starts in. So that's the joint the most starts in ALR history in bronze. So Camera Racer, who's got quite a good CV in bronze as well. He's gone fast. He's on a 36.5. Good stuff indeed there for Camera Racer in his 43rd Grand Prix starts. Now, as I mentioned, that is the same amount as Ayrton. So good 70. Both those drivers are the most capped drivers in bronze history. Across the line goes Silence Shifting there, 0.4 of a second away from Camera Racer at the moment. Senna has gone fastest by 0.3 of a second. Across the line is Shadows, and he's done a 37.022. A bit not the races at the moment now for Shadows. Let's see what he can muster in his second time run then. Theo has done a 3 in the second section. That's looking good there for the championship leader. Out of the final turn then for Theo. He goes second fastest. 0.3 of a second back him on. Red Bull of Irvine across the line, and Irvine I think has invalidated his time, so he's got to have another butt of cherry. What about you mad bro? Irvine, you mad bro, and look at you mad bro, that was incredibly committed there from you mad bro on his debut here tonight in bronze. Out of the final turn, and you mad bro goes full fastest out on a 36.6 there. What a start to his career for you mad bro, love it. A yellow flag there as Joseph has had a couple of gremlins going on there, and goodness gracious me, I think there's yellow flags there according to the track map, but he's coming out of the final turn as well, and this is a 106 there. That is incredible stuff, man, for Joseph there, but of course I don't think his timing is not working there for Joseph. Otherwise at 06 I think we'll be going home, because he'll be half a minute quicker than anyone else there, and I have a feeling that I'll be raising an eyebrow if that was the case there for Joseph. He must have found a shortcut here in Singapore. Just now on board then out of the final turn then for Diashi, goes across the line. He's full fast as well. Look how close Diashi and you mad bro is. It's incredibly tight in bronze, like it normally is, isn't it? There Felipe has gone 7 fastest in the Haas car. Good stuff indeed there. Felipe doing a very good, it's a very strong showing for Felipe in the Haas car. Very good stuff indeed there for the Haas driver. Lovely. Here's Irvine now. Lovely helmet, by the way. Love a bit of white in gold there. Absolutely stupendous helmet colours there from Irvine. He may get the helmet of the week award then. Well, that beats a gold pole there for for Joseph. Yeah, I think that Joseph, we're going to have to test him, won't we? Because goodness gracious me, that is ridiculously quick. I think he should be going into esports. Wait, we are esports, aren't we? ALR esports, of course. But maybe the that's other esports thing that George Russell drives in, and Lando Norris, all that kind of stuff. Oh, the not GP thing, wasn't it? I don't think they do that anymore, do they? Into the pits there comes you mad bro, and also Diashi is just down the back straight, and Senna on pole position so far. Senna has never had a pole position in a bronze before, has he? But I am being harsh because he's only ever participated in one bronze race, hasn't he? Senna did. So I am being very harsh indeed for Senna, so that probably is a bit unfair. But that is the stat so far. But he finished in 5th position in Russia. Goodness me, Diashi just chopping me brow off there. Goodness gracious me, Felipe's invalidated this time then, so he's come back in the pits there. Joseph has done a 37-0 in the end there, so the helmetless Joseph there in the pits, and well, he's coming out of the pits now, isn't he there? So Joseph is there. Hopefully we get that sorted out for the race as well, boys. That may be a nightmare, not just for me, but for the poor drivers as well. And he comes out the pits there. Thank you for the votes, by the way. The votes is now up to 46 to 46, and between Theo and someone else there. Loving these votes, by the way. And we've had 24 votes so far. Absolutely great stuff indeed there. Keep your votes coming in. We've got 5 minutes to go. I wonder who is going to be right then. I haven't voted because I think that because I wouldn't even have a clue. Of course, I'd have a clue. I do have my fate. I do have a feeling, or I have a favourite for pole position tonight. Then, but I do not want to reveal my cards. Of course, as I like to think I'm a very good poker player. I played with Lady Gaga once, and we're just on board with Joseph into turn 10. Of course, I wish I knew Lady Gaga. As I must say, I became a big fan of Lady Gaga when I watched. Is it no, where's that? Born a Star or something? I don't know. I can't remember what it is now. With Bradley Cooper in it. That was a very nice film, wasn't it? So good stuff indeed. Then. But I know if you want to hear about Lady Gaga on your F1 stream, but there you go, some more randomness then. So Joseph is down at Raffles at Boulevard now. I think he is on an outlap. Joseph is there as he is just coming down to turn 15. That infamous turn 15 as well. He is just coming to the pits there. So I think that Joseph has left the session, or he's found a new way to teleport, which is, I would say, also against the rules as well, Joseph. Is goodness gracious me. I think that Liam is going to have to really throw the book at Joseph tonight, isn't it? Goodness me, and he's bending time and space there, and I'm sure that's against the rules in F1, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, I don't think there's probably even a rule in F1 for that. As Theo then just is starting off as upside. Let's go on board the championship leader. Lovely helmet design as well by Theo. Love it as he comes out of the final turn as well. Serious question, if Camera gets top 3 tonight, I'm having a party. Someone else won the pole. A Star is Born now. Did you play poker on her? No, I didn't. So, goodness gracious me, that. But I can't think of. But I was on the edge of glory. That's it. There we go. I am actually a big old Lady Gaga fan. I've got a lot of her music on the old phone. So I also like Alejandro as well. Good. That's a good old tune, isn't it? Right. Anyway, let's get back to it, shall we? Got 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I think I need to keep it on the subject, don't I? Good grief. Oh, Theo then get a bit. His back end is getting a bit squirrely there, wasn't he? Down into the Singapore sling, which is not the Singapore sling anymore. Is it for car 48? So Theo is backed off on this lap, and he's also abandoned this lap as well. So Theo was not feeling this one, was he? Who is trying to go for his 4th pole position of his season here. I think that Theo, just like young Tommy, has really stepped up a notch, hasn't he? There, I think that young Tommy, his performance this season has been absolutely mesmerising. I have compared him to Leicester winning the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. Well, about 5 seasons ago now, which is pretty impressive indeed, wasn't it? But of course, I think Theo is definitely going to be in the ballpark of an absolutely superlative season there. Both those two drivers have had an absolutely mesmerising season, haven't they? Whatever happens now, but we do have 6 races to go in this one, including the one that we're on then. So this is here in Singapore. We got 2 weeks off. Oh my gosh, you mad bro, it's almost out of control. I love it as he comes down at Raffles at Boulevard. And how much commitment did the COBALT World Champion have was beyond me. That was absolutely sensational. And it is also reflected in the timing screens as well. It's 4100 a second up then in the second split time. Now it's absolutely superb. Yellow flag then is one of the McLarens. It's having some major problems there. Senna has gone down the escape road there. And I think that actually just across the other part of the track then you can technically cut that if you really wanted to. But I think somehow you're going to have to get in between the barriers. You man bro, and I wonder if that's what Joseph did somehow. Out of the final turn then comes it, you mad bro, into turn 22 and now into turn 23. Out of the final turn and he goes 4 fast. He's on the second row of the grid on his debut tonight. Really good stuff indeed there. Absolutely hats off to him indeed. And here comes Silent Shifton, who is at 10th for a second up in the second split time. Just seeing what Irvine's doing. There is Irvine. He's done a 3.6 in the second split time. That is in the ballpark. That is in the ballpark of Theo, I think, on his opening lap then. Let's see what Irvine's doing out of the final turn. And oh goodness me, he's almost lost it. Only second fastest there, and it's more in the ballpark. Goodness me, it's almost in the in the same zone, I think. I don't really know what a ballpark. Oh, and Diaz is on pole position. Where did he come from? Fantastic. And he's done a 36.234 there. And that is 300ths of a second quicker than Senna in second position. That is absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. Really well done. Checker flag is falling for Silent Shifting, who is full fastest then in the McLaren. Oh my goodness me. Theo is gone from second to fifth in a twinkling of an eye here. How much more time has he got in his back pocket then for the Ferrari driver out of the final turn? Theo's on pole. Theo is on pole position. My goodness me. He's in the 35s. That is absolutely sensational stuff there from Theo. It was so good. I've knocked me headset off there. Shatters has gone 8 faster than the AlphaTauri. Oh, brilliant. These are absolutely magnificent times indeed. Camera races invalidated time, so there's going to be no party, unfortunately, for Serious Motion tonight. On board with you, Mad Bro's gone from 4th to 7th there. Goodness gracious me, Shatters has finished, Silent Shifting's finished, Theo's finished as well. You Mad Bros clout at the outside wall of turn 21 and coming out 22 and 23 now using, and he's back up in the 4th, you Mad Bro. Fantastic indeed that. Joseph Ben, I'm not sure if we're going to see his time just yet. He's at a 37.096 then. We'll see if that's right or not in a minute. And what about the McLaren of Senna then? He's found a 10th a second up in the second split time then. And I think Theo, has he stolen the march then on Senna? Out of final turn there for Senna. Senna's second fastest. And look how close it is between Theo and Senna. 200ths of a second there. Felipe is up in the 4th. My goodness me. Wow, some drivers have really left it to the very end of qualifying. Irvine's into the pits there. What about Diashi? Diashi's also in the pits as well. It is Theo on pole position. What a magnificent qualifying. And what a magnificent lap for Theo. Is this his best lap of his career? I would say so. That was magnificent. How did he do that? That is beyond words. Fantastic stuff indeed. And that is Theo's 4th pole position of his career for the Ferrari, for the Scuderia team as well. And that is his 2nd pole position in a row. He had one in Russia as well. He had one in the Dutch Grand Prix and in Hungary since round 9. He's had pole position almost every other race. He's been superb, hasn't he? Theo has there. He's really stepped up a notch, and that's his 4th pole position of his career. Magnificent stuff indeed there. The final corner, Irvine said then, Cody saying, well done, Theo then. Lost a 10th of a second in the final corner, but great lap, good lap from Theo. Senna is saying there, Theo's come on there. Brilliant stuff indeed there. He can still finish third. Party is still on then. And Umar Bro finished 5th at the end, and unfortunately, Camera Racer is down in 8th, so no party at the moment. There's a correct guy was saying, wow, Diashi, fantastic stuff. Would have lost a 10th of a second with that slide then. For correct guy by magnificent stuff indeed. Cracking times these are. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Theo first sector was so bad there. But while it was good enough for pole position by 200ths of a second, that is an incredible qualifying session. And then Bronze once again in qualifying really delivers the goods. Really good stuff indeed there. Theo's on pole position, as I've mentioned, for the 4th time this season and for the 4th time in his career as well. He now has 4 wins and 4 pole positions there. It looks quite nice on my spreadsheet. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there for Theo. And as I mentioned, since round 9, he has had a pole position on 4 occasions. Goodness gracious me. So in the last 6 rounds, he's in the last 6 or 5 rounds, that's been pretty impressive. I'm just trying to compose myself. I'm also trying to get myself into position as well, because this is going to be a cracking Grand Prix. We're just waiting. I have a feeling that Joseph may be causing a couple of gremlins with the old lobby at the moment there, so hopefully it will only just be for a second or two whilst we have a bit of a delay. Of course, the race tonight, last night's race was 1 hour and 9 minutes, so I am expecting at least another hour of broadcasting here tonight then. Liam saying good luck to everyone in Bronze Head tonight. Have a good race and keep it clean. I'm up at 5:30 again. Serious Racer said good luck all. Yes, if you wanted a quick finish tonight, you're not going to get it here. This is the longest racing season in terms of the time now. And of course, as I said, an hour and 9 minutes last night. I'm expecting at least 50 minutes of racing here tonight again. And that is, I think, even without safety cars and rain and all that kind of jazz as well. There is the top 10 then. Theo pole position, Senna alongside him on row 1. Diashi really got in there in the end. And Felipe, fantastic there. 4 reserves in the first top 4 position. 3 reserves in the first top 4 positions. Umar Burr returns to action then. It's his first race in a bronze night as a COBALT champion, and he is 5th. Irvine in 6th position with Silent Shift in 7th, for Camera Racer, Joseph in 9th, and Shatters in the top 10. And that is the top 10 for our Singapore Grand Prix. Very nice comments as well. I say everyone is saying it. Good luck there, and yes, indeed, good stuff indeed there. Yes, so I also say good luck to everyone as well. Unless I'm racing the course, and I don't say good luck to anyone, so I want to win. Which I know is far-fetched then, but there we go, because we're all competitors, and I'm not a very nice person. Right then, let's look at that lovely night sky here in Singapore. That has lovely shots there from the Singapore Sling. Absolutely beautiful stuff indeed, is it? Of course, that corner has been very much sanitized, hasn't it? Which is such a shame indeed. I think that's down in turn 7, isn't it? Possibly. Potentially, maybe. That is definitely turn 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully, we're going to have a clean start to this race then. Critical by Diashi for the Grand Prix without a safety car. Sean cracks me up then. I am a very much king of wishful thinking then. If anyone has ever heard the band Go West from the 80s, then that was definitely a lovely snippet as well there. Liam, good lap there from Diashi as well. Liam is saying as well, yeah. There was, to be honest, my start qualifying, I have no earthly idea, because I think Theo was absolutely superb in that qualifying session. I think that Hugh Manpro turning up on his David's night in bronze, and he is just absolutely flown right up there and doing a great job indeed. That Joseph was there for session. It's such a shame for Joseph on a couple of connections issues, and I think it's because he joined slightly late then. And there is the front wings there, primed and ready to go. Hopefully we won't need those in this Grand Prix later on tonight then, as we are now getting ourselves ready to go then. And let me get rid of all my notifications then, because I don't want to see any of those then, because this is going to be a cracking Grand Prix indeed. There we go. Much better. I don't really like having notifications in my phone now. I like to be nice and clean then. Shame I don't have that kind of velocity in my real world, but there we go. But never mind. I'm kind of halfway there. I'm qualifying the last races, and now it's ruining me. So for serious pressure. But as now we're getting ready for the race itself, and then let's just go through the grid shower from front to back, from pole position to check flag. Flat for 31 laps around this Grand Prix. Remember that the pole of the Remember that the driver of the day poll goes out 5 laps before the end, and it's the driver of the day award. It's not just about it's not just about the race as well. It's also about qualifying. So you got to think about the whole event, haven't you? Which is why Immortal and Welshman Nardo and who's the third person? I'm so sorry. I've got a bad. Oh, young Tommy. Goodness me, how could I forget young Tommy? Oh my word, there. Because those were the 3 that got the driver was nominated for driver of the day last night, because they had a cracking event overall then, and so really good 70. Then let's go for the grid shower from front to back there. Only one soft runner there, and that's Billet, who's on the soft tires. Everyone else on the medium, apart from Chappie on 14th position, Gunnar in 15th, Sammy 16th, and Siege in 17th position as well. Let's go through the grid, shall we? As this is going to get very, very interesting indeed. Then, if there's any shenanigans, Michael Massey may jump into the commentary party. Then, goodness me, as I better be on my best behaviour. I hope that, as I think Leo, oh goodness me, it's making me sweat. My word. So no more talking about Lady Gaga. Then, as the race is about to get going. Then, as we're coming down at Raffles Boulevard, and I will actually go for the grid now, because this is one of the longest tracks, one of the longer tracks on the calendar, and I've only got one more sector to sort myself out. Pole position there for Theo, fourth pole position of his career, fantastic. Setter alongside him on row 1 there. And then we have Diasha, superb qualifying in 3rd position, with Felipe in 4th. Umanbro, the COBALT champion, in 5th, along with his COBALT rival Irvine in 6th. Goodness me, how things changed, then more they stay the same. Silent Shifting in 7th position there, a bit beyond the 8 ball tonight. Camera Racer in 8th position there, driving in his 43rd Grand Prix starts now, and he is now joined the most experienced driver, along with Ayrton, with 43 starts. Joseph is just come back into the session now as well. Still no helmet for Joseph. Shatters in 10th position. Bullet has gone for an attack strategy in 11th position, but he's having a very slow lap here, Bullet is said, as Bit of, I wonder if there's a bit of gamesmanship there for Billet. He's in 11th position there. Vincent 12th at Enright, a qualifying 2 ban. He is in 13th position there for Enright. He needs to have a clean start, doesn't he, there? Of course, Theo is on pole position there. 14th position is Chappie with Gunnar in 15th. Sammy in 16th position there. 17th is Siege there. Roscoe 18th there. Alibi just left the session. That's not good for Alibi in 19th position. And Controller in 20th position there, making his debut tonight as well. Lovely helmet design, by the way, from Controller then. As Alibi is back in the session, and Alpine 19th and 20th there on the final row of the grid, and there they are, they're lining up and getting ready to go then. Look at this, and this is confidence storm. The lights are coming on then. They're all gone off then, but we're not looking at the lights on. There's Theo's revs then. Here we go then. And oh, it's a drive-through penalty. It's a drive-through penalty for both the front runners. And there's contact at the back already. Billet's in the wall, and he's out of the Grand Prix. He looks like he spun it before he got going there. And it's a safety car already. And Joseph, I'm not sure if Joseph was, because Joseph didn't look like he got going at all. Camera racer, as Joseph is crawling there. There's some issues there for the Aston Martin driver. Oh dear, Chappie's got a 5-second penalty as well. There's penalties galore in the middle part of the field here, and that is not good at all. Billet out of the Grand Prix already. Drive-through penalties then for the top 2, and that is not good at all, is it there? And Becca, Theo then. Serious question, serious question, I'm not saying that. Joe Wilson, wow, Dylan Oof, what are you doing? OMG then is Billet, I can't believe that. I'm not sure if I don't think Joseph's car started it. I'm not sure because he's had issues. Oh, and now he's going to the back of Gouda. I think that Joseph's not in that car, is he then? Or if he is, that he's on a completely different part of track then. Well, Murphy said then, because of the slow formation lap there, that may have actually come back to bite Billet then, of course, there, because tyre temperature is quite crucial. Yes, Billet was on the soft tyres, of course, wasn't he? Which do get fired up, but you still need to put some kind of give into them as well. As is that Liam there is going to restart a new session there. So it's a new session then, which is a absolute, which is going to be music to the ears of Theo and Senna. Good stuff indeed then. So we are migrating the host here, and so that's good. So that's good stuff for Billet, and that's good stuff for Senna and Theo as well. Goodness gracious me! As Beck saying, "Oh, why a restart? What a hero! My AI, what a hero! My AI has said." Joseph, don't start, and Billet was saying, and I think that was because of the oh goodness me, as we kind of got all kinds of issues going on there. Silent shift to not restart again then, as and unfortunately, oh goodness gracious me, as Theo has gone into the wall, and so Theo's going to be very happy with this. Yeah, I think that Joseph, I don't think Joseph didn't move then, and I think that was the case then, wasn't there? So there's some issues going on then. As lovely shot here in the building. Where is that? I don't really know, to be honest, because I think that's my flat, isn't it? Let me get out the window. Hello, everyone. I must say that's lovely. So we're just back on board at the moment. Yeah, so it's a reset. So it's a session restart here at the moment now, and we'll be going again then. So yes, same glitch as last week. By the sounds of it, I think it may be that. Oh gosh, Senna, Senna has just gone into Burnt My Lander, and I must say, Senna, you are my hero then, because Burnt My Lander's had that coming to him ever since he took me out in the Brazilian Grand Prix pre-race and for bronze last season when bronze returned to the ALR roster then. So very good stuff indeed there for Senna. I absolutely love it. I'm just waiting for me for me invite then, and then we'll be going. Unfortunately, when I do accept invites and stuff, the stream may get a bit of a desync in terms of the cars and stuff, so which is a bit annoying. And as soon as I press the PlayStation button, which really infuriates me when I watch the races back. So I must apologise to anyone if that does happen, but hopefully it doesn't become too much of an issue. Just on board with a camera race then, but yes, this is a race start at the moment. Billet, this is what he was saying then. Is that the Anderson building or the bridge, Becca? I think it is the Anderson Bridge, isn't it? There is we've got drive-through penalties there for someone for falling too far back. Yeah, I think it is the Anderson Bridge, but there's a Parliament building around here somewhere, isn't there? I would have to get the old Google Maps then, but unfortunately I struggle to use my phone at the best of times. But when I'm under pressure, you're going to hear nothing but a lot of profanity, and I ain't got my profanity buzzer on me tonight, so so I better not try and get my old Google Maps up. But it was saying didn't start in front of me. Joseph got Joseph Ed, and I got out, and someone pushed me into the wall, so went slowly on the drive, so the tires wouldn't wear out, and so they weren't cold. Is what a Bullet is saying there. Bullet did have a very leisurely formation lap, didn't he? As Liam has now invited me to the session there. Yeah, Bullet did have a very leisurely session, didn't he? Very leisurely formation lap, didn't he? Anyway, let me do the old dashboard, and then we'll go back in. And Cody Bridge, what happened then? Unfortunately, we think Joseph had some issues out of the start line. Irfan had the same thing, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago in Russia? And we've had 2 restarts in a row now in bronze. And so a couple of gremlins going on, unfortunately. Let me just find me old invite then, and then we'll be going. I'm getting very good at this, aren't I? I'm very happy at this. It's only taken me 3 years to get it right. Then absolutely, jobs are good, and Bob's your uncle. I'm back in the session now. Great stuff. So now, unfortunately, though, I have got to get a bit of time. I've got to try and make some time up. Then, as we're just getting everyone in the session and ready to get going again, of course. I would like to hear what your opinions have been so far in qualifying. It's been, I'd say that it's had the best qualifying this season. I keep saying this a lot, don't I? So you're gonna have to let me know if I'm speaking absolute rubbish. But that was an absolutely fantastic qualifying. It really was indeed, wasn't it? Keep going, Camero. You could win. Serious Bush was saying that. But unfortunately, that now doesn't count then. So we're now back in the session. We're now back in the session, just waiting for the drivers to get back in here, and we'll get going then. Everyone's asking if I start on softs, what is the strategy? I'm home just in time then for Scooby Stew. Scooby Stew's going to be very happy with that, as he can now watch the start, which is probably the most dramatic part of the race as well. Remember that all the top 10 is I've just in the admins there talk about, but all the top 10 must start on the tires, which you set your fast time in qualifying too, which is all medium tires, of course. That you do not forget your setups as well. Otherwise, you're going to have a very difficult Grand Prix, aren't you? Don't copy my strategy, JB. But it's saying I won't. If I go softs, what is it? Enright is saying then. Don't start softs. Enright is saying. Serious Westwood is saying to Enright. Well, I think the soft tires may be okay if you get a safety car at the right time, but that kind of leaves the race strategy out of your hands, doesn't it? It depends, really, is it? You are guaranteed a safety car in the world of league racing, aren't you? Because there's always I would say if I'm in the league. If I'm in the racing anyway, you're definitely going to get a safety car. As I do struggle to navigate my way around the circuits. Maybe because I failed geography, perhaps then, or it's my bad memory. I'm outside the top 10. Of course, he got a qualifying 2 ban. As Mushroom was saying, and I think that. If you're in the top 10, you must start on the tires which you set your fast time in qualifying too. But if it's a restart, you could technically start on any tire you want, I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that occasion. No, you may have to ask the admin on that one. But of course, in real world of Formula 1, you can technically change your mind and go for whatever. Because when is a race start a race start? I think we had this debate in Belgium, didn't we? Whether the race has started or not. Because technically, we are at a park firm right now, aren't we? That's the way I was thinking about it. Cody Bridge is joining now. That softs only last 7 laps ish, not worth it. That many laps can mediums do, and many softs said Enright is thinking. And I think the serious measure may be right then. Soft tires is probably not the way to go, is it? The medium tires can do about 20 laps. Thank goodness me. There's a lot of we got the softest compounded tires in terms of range, haven't we? Soft. They've got the C5, the C4, and the C3 around here. So it's the softest in terms of the Pirelli range. Of course, mainly because of the smooth track surface. But the medium tires are pretty durable around here. So we've just heard Sarah Smash say it's incredible, isn't it? Soft tires can only do 7 laps, but the medium tires can do absolutely abundance amount of laps indeed. Then, of course. I did like the old days where we had ultra soft, hyper soft, super soft, and all those kind of tires. I quite like that, really, me, because I like colours. I get really excited about that. Becca saying I wouldn't even touch the softs at all. Then, of course, Becca, who got third last night, so she definitely knows what she's talking about as well, albeit she didn't use any dry tyre at all, did she? She was on the wet tyres all the way through, along with the majority of the field. Just what your Bullet said, I think it's a very aggressive strategy, but it's okay if after the first lap we have a safety car, because that is true. Remember, you have to use 2 types of tyre, compounded tyres, and whether that's the soft in the medium, the soft in the hard, or the medium in the hard, or the medium in the soft. Ugh, or vice versa. Then I almost swab my tongue again, or vice versa. Then there you go. Then so that's how it is. Then so yep. No, we've been talking about strategy. I must say it's that's not the. I do enjoy talking about strategy, but I do prefer the racing myself. And tires. We do talk about tires a lot of it. That is the that is one of the factors of Formula One these days, isn't it? It used to be fuel, didn't it? Where drivers would do sprints and things like that. And it's there has whether you like refueling or not, then of course there's a lot of overtaking done in the pits, wasn't it? Really, but I was one driver that I was one guy that actually liked the refueling. It really got me excited. I did enjoy the refueling era of Formula One, but that's probably because the cars looked so incredible because they did look fast, didn't they? And I'm not sure if that was the camera angles or what, but they just looked really. I think it was also the weight of the cars as well, wasn't it? As Becca's saying that she's glad that she didn't have to experience the that pit entry and exit in the rain. Then probably why you did come to pits, was it, Becca? You decided that you didn't want to tackle that entry and exit. I understand that very completely as well, because that's why I wouldn't have gone in either. We're down to 17 races there for some reason, so that is so that's not that's a bit worrying. Then is Jamie Enright is you only live once, and he's going YOLO, and he's going for the soft tires, and oh golly gosh, then good stuff indeed. Then you should behave, lad. Then Serious Wrestler saying, "Oh my word!" Oh, we're now back up to 18. Good 17. I need to get into position, I think, because I think the race is about to get going again. We're going to have another formation lap, so it's a completely new race, of course. Then, so we have to do the race procedure once again. Then, so we got to go on the formation lap, and then we've got to, and then of course, we've got to go on the formation lap and then get going. Right, I'm ready. Nope, now I'm ready. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Good stuff indeed then. So, yes, if anyone wants an early night tonight, then unfortunately that's not going to happen. I don't think I'm going to finish this race until 10, 10 to 10 maybe, something like that. Goodness gracious me then. So, yes, this is going to be a long one. We've only got 19 cars in the session so far. Thank you all for joining us as well. By the way, there's a new feature of ALR this week. That is the Driver of the Day poll, where the Driver of the Day poll will be announced at 5 laps before the end, of course, then, which then, so it's a free drive set. It's not just about the race, it's about qualifying as well, of course. So it's the whole session there. And oh goodness me, there we got a lot of a lot of things going on in the comment section. Absolutely good stuff indeed. So Serious Russia there, standing out there with capital letters there, setups indeed. Setups indeed then. So I thought we was going, but we're not going at the moment then. So yes, so remember about that driver of the day, that driver of the day, which I think has done really well so far. I've really enjoyed it as well. I'm actually liking that. I feel that it's a goodness me. Becca's also just messaged the fan club as well, saying that setups. But of course there. I've got myself in the tears now. So, oh goodness gracious me! But anyway, yes. So we're about to get going then for the start of the hopefully for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. So this one is going to be a fantastic race. I have no doubt about that. 31 laps around this Grand Prix. I really should turn my notifications off, shouldn't I? Yep. Goodness gracious me! Then I would turn them off now, then, but I'm scared that the stream will come out desync then. As Theo there saying thanks. Good stuff indeed then. Lovely. Right then. Anyway, here we go then for the start of the well, hopefully for the start of the session then. We're still waiting for one driver by the looks then, so a bit of a delay once again then, but we'll get there. Good things come to those who wait is what Guinness has always told me on the old adverts. Well, I think that's the case anyway. Also remember that Tottenham has Tottenham signed Tottenham got a new manager, haven't they? They got Conte, haven't they? Oh, I think that's an absolutely great manager appointment. It really is. Much better than I sound like a hater of Nuno, and that's completely wrong. I really liked Nuno when he was at Wolves, but I just didn't think he was the caliber of manager that maybe that was at the top level of the Premier League, perhaps. Maybe I'm being harsh, but yeah, he did a good job at Wolves, but I don't think he was going to be. I don't think it was going to be very good in the Tottenham hot seat, and unfortunately that remained to be said. That was also seen as well. So he did get manager of the month there, but time comes to you quite quickly in sport, doesn't it? Goodness gracious me! As Irfan is saying, it's not me this time. Then it has caused all the shenanigans there. Hopefully we have Joseph starting this time, then, but we've lost the driver once again. Goodness me, then. So we're back down to 18 at the moment. I don't know what I've done with my cables tonight then, but they're all over the show. I need to find a better way of doing this, but I'm a bit too lazy. I'm just going to moan about it on the stream. Then when I get off the stream, I'll probably go and have a donut, as I forgot to have my donuts last night. So yes, so I'm going to be celebrating this with a bit of a sugary sweet, then a sugary snack. Then we got 20 cars, good stuff, Ben. Hopefully, be ready to get going as well. Hang on, let me get me heads out. 10 p.m. finish is optimistic now. I reckon. I think that I was saying it's probably about 10 to 10. It's probably going to be about 10ish now. So this is a long, sweaty race indeed, there, isn't it? It's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it? It is hot, it is sweaty, and it is beautiful. But enough about me, as I said last night. Let's get on with the race, shall we? Hopefully, anyway, as I'm still looking up there, and we've now, I keep getting excited, then not excited, then because we're almost ready to get going, and then we're not ready to get going. So hopefully, we will be in just a jiffy. Remember, just also a quick plug for next tomorrow night. We got COBALT as well, and round 14 of COBALT in Singapore as well. Hopefully, COBALT will then have a week's break then, because they have deserved, haven't they? Unfortunately, they had some issues, didn't they, in the Italian Grand Prix, so they were a week behind, but they're now back on the same schedule as they're back on the same schedule now as everyone else in LR. So if it all goes well tomorrow night in COBALT, then they will get a week off, and that's absolutely deserved, isn't it? Of course, we do have the Mexican Grand Prix this weekend, which I am looking forward to. Of course, but I do expect Red Bull to be strong now, because the Honda really likes it when they're high in altitude, where they're high up then. And two tracks that are really high up is Brazil and Mexico. I think Mexico is the highest track in terms of altitude, isn't it? And then I think Brazil's the second highest, I think, isn't it? I'm sure that's the case. Anyway, whether it's right or not, I'm not too sure. It's going to be past midnight. Starting shifting the same by the time this is done. Then remember, guys, start on the same tires as the last attempt as well. Dango is saying that. Yes, indeed. Then. Albeit I said something completely different earlier on, didn't I? So there we go. Do not listen to me, as of course I should really know the rules, but I don't. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So here we go. So let's see how this one will progress then in this race. So we're going to have another formation up. So this is a complete restart, and so we have to go through the race preparations once again. Unfortunately, so we've got to have a formation lap, and then the Grand Prix itself. And so everyone's going to have fresh tires now, though. So all those top 10 that were on used medium tires from their qualifying 2 attempts, well, that's now gone out the window. So they're going to have fresh medium tires still, which may play into the advantage slightly. So as mentioned, do it now, Sean. I've started cooking. Oh, what have you got cooking? I really fancied a gammon joint the other day. Oof, and I think is it gammon joint? It's a piece of gammon, isn't it? I don't know what it is, but all I know is I know it's from the ham family, and of course, ham is one of my favourite foods of all time. Mainly because I do look like a pig as well. Right, let's get going then for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Got a safety car down at the far end, the pit exit there. That is Bert Mylander in the beautiful Aston Martin safety car. Serious Russian thinks it looks more like a Ford Puma, which it does actually. It really does. Mercedes mechanics there are primed and ready to go, but hopefully they won't be called into action too early on there. So they would hope everyone gets away there and have a clean start. Of course, they're also, so tonight then, this is round 14 of Singapore here in Bronze. If you just joined us, then we've had a race delay then after issues then with one of the cars. Unfortunately, issues there. Same thing happened to Irvine last time out in Russia. So another restart again, unfortunately. So 2 on the trot now, and that is such a shame. And Becca saying that second time lucky. I hope so, because I got to say, I got to get me at least 23 hours of beauty sleep. Or goodness me, I might. Otherwise, goodness me, I might starting to look more and more like Shrek each day. Then I wish I looked like Shrek. He's a beautiful beast, isn't he? Right, 31 laps around this Grand Prix. We have got hard tires, and for Chappie Gooner, Sam has gone medium this time. Siege is on the hard tires, and Alibi has gone hard as well. Soft tires then for Billet. Everyone else is on the medium tires. And let's go for the grid there from start to back. It's Theo on pole position there. Alongside him is Senna. Both those two had drive-through penalties, didn't they? Last time out then, so they have both got a reprieve there, so they're going to be very happy indeed there. I keep saying there. Third position is Diashi. Fourth position is Felipe, who, goodness me, I don't think he's got his track map on yet. Felipe in fourth. You mad, bro. And remember, this is David Knight in fifth position in the Mercedes. Of course, in a bronze area, he is the COBALT champion. He's driven in silver, COBALT, and now bronze. Goodness gracious me, he's a journeyman, isn't he? Irvine in sixth position there. Seventh position is Silent Shifting. Eighth position is Camera Racer. His 43rd Grand Prix start. The same amount as Ertz. Now, both of those got the most starts in bronze history. Joseph in 9th position. 10th position is Shatters. 11th position is Billet there. Billet once again and having a very slow outline, very slow formation lap here. Vintage in 12th position with Enright in 13th. Chappie is in 14th. He is the highest runner on the hard tyres. Gunnar in 15th position there. Sammy is gone at medium tyres in 16th position there. Someone needs a word with Sammy, by the way, because he's got a default helmet there. So I'm absolutely ashamed about Sammy. You need to get that sorted. The 7th position is Siege, who's also got a default helmet as well. Absolute disgraceful scenes here. Roscoe in 18th position there. He's also got a default helmet. Goodness gracious me, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Alibi in 19th position. A lovely helmet from Alibi. And 20th position is Controller. And as Joseph been disqualified there of unfortunately Aston Martin. So Controller in 20th position, making his full debut tonight then. So hopefully he does a good job, because I haven't seen him so far in this stream. So hopefully he will. I'm making cheese on toast with or Welsh rare rabbit and rare bit. Is that he's got Where Rabbit? What's that? I've been watching Wallace and Gromit. Goodness me. Here's a bullet then coming out of the far turn. He's about to start there. 23 hours of beauty sleep and you'll miss Cobalt Bond. Don't worry there, I didn't study physics or time, Becca, so I should be fine. We've got Cryptic Alibi. Oh, rain is expected there, but oh, goodness gracious me. Liam is saying that a bullet needs to pick up the pace, and otherwise he's going to be stuck with a qualifying free ban there, unfortunately. Goku then, I hope we don't get the same issue tomorrow. Becca saying Siege and Bronze and Jeepers, aha. Tommy Abala, good luck all. Right, here we go then. 31 laps then around the Russian Grand Prix. Take two. It's a second time then. Second time lucky perhaps. Theo were on board with. Remember, he had a jump start last time, but not this time then. And here we go. It's lights out and it's go for the Singapore Grand Prix. And going down in turn one there. Senna's got the inside. Senna takes the lead there. Theo's had to back out and Senna's had the perfect run then. And Felipe's up the inside. Felipe forcing his way through. And the championship leader, Theo's dropped from first to third in 3 corners here. Yellow flag in sector 1 then. When the Mercedes and Sam's dropped down the order. And Sam has dropped ragingly down the order. Look at this. And it's Felipe is going for it. You man bros got past the Ashi. And over the full finish there. Senna's on the inside. Felipe's on the inside. So Felipe's on the inside. He's having a look. He's gone off the outside. Then we're on board with Felipe. There's contact. And there is aggressive racing going on in the opening stage of this race. Felipe has kept it on the inside. Fantastic racing. I am loving this so far. This is magnificent. And Felipe's on the inside going into turn 10. He has the inside. He has the advantage. He has the track advantage. He's through. He's through and he takes the lead. What an incredible series of corners that was. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Felipe was just going for it, wasn't he? And that is exactly, he was not giving up there. He wasn't taking no for an answer. And Felipe leads the Singapore Grand Prix. Enright is now up in front of Bullet and into 11th position there. Theo dropped down to 3rd position. He's gone from first to third. Then Human Bro going up into second. Up into, where is he? Human Bro's over to 4th position there. We just watched Joseph there. It's Camera Racer dropping down to 9th position as well. Up 5 positions. Roscoe, he's had a superb start there. Unfortunately, Chappie and Sammy have dropped down the order as well, as Joseph has got a couple of, I'm not sure if it's a couple of connection issues as well. And Emirates probably want to go get past as quickly as possible. But now, oh goodness me, and he's now just gone under. Oh no, he's still behind the road off. We've just gone under Joseph. Goodness gracious me, I'm not sure if that's illegal or not. Solid shift in there, almost spun it there, and he's into the wall, and he'll be very lucky. Roscoe's in peril. He's in peril. He's in the pits. Roscoe is there. He's having a nightmare season. Roscoe is, unfortunately. He was a Grand Prix winner in Italy last season there, but this season has not been too good at all, has it? And that is such a shame there. What a shame indeed there. And now on board and yellow flag in sector 1 then, because someone has had a crop, and I think it might be Chappie there. And here's Irvine there going on the inside of Silent Shifting. Silent Shifting is on the back foot there. then, as he really clout the barrier. Turn at 23, didn't he? 23 turns on this course then, as now we got Irvine's on the outside. Irvine's on the outside. He is through. Yellow flag then, as in the background there, one of the Red Bulls is holding up a train of cars and as Vintage there, but I'm not sure if Vintage is the corporate or not. Then we got a Mercedes. Is that a Mercedes in the background with no wing? Maybe I think it might be an Aston Martin actually. Then as we're just going over the Anderson Bridge then, and now we got and who is this? That is just going over the Anderson Bridge. Silent Shifting is dropping back. I think there is damage on that McLaren, isn't there? Gap at the front there, 2.1 seconds. Felipe is flying out there. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Fantastic there. As Siege, Roscoe and Sammy have all had to come into the pits then early on this Grand Prix there, so that is going to be a bit difficult for them. And Siege is on the medium tyres. Roscoe and Sammy have gone onto the hard compound tyres then. Let's see how that does then. Liam has just confirmed that Joseph Lag is not very good then. Sirius Richard is very good stuff indeed then. Sirius Richard there, he's given Liam there some advice, and Becca saying well to start there. Just saying good luck all then. Felipe is now almost 3 seconds in front. He's absolutely flying out there. And look at this side now as Theo is going up into second position there. Lap 3. Oh no, sector 3 has gone off there. And now Camera Racer and Enright to fight to that. Look, Theo's through. Where is he? He has got through. Senna dropping down the order. And now we got you Mad Bro up in his second position as well. You Mad Bro's up in his second there. And Senna is really struggling for pace at this stage of proceedings. And he's dropping down the order of the McLaren. He's got a lot of understeer. And he is limping here, Senna is. And look, now we got to Diashi. And Diashi's going to go on the outside. He'll have the inside into turn at 7. He does, not quite. He doesn't. Diashi down in 7th position there, and now then he is going to have Irvine for company as well. Look at the talent here. We got Felipe, we got Theo, we got Mabro, Diashi and Irvine. What an incredible top 6 collection of drivers. That is fantastic, isn't it? Loving this. This is brilliant stuff indeed there. Enright is now in the top 10 then, so Enright is trying to get his recovery and move on then. Theo is sparking there quite heavily there. Theo is, and that Ferrari is quite low on the floor. Chappie has come into the pits. Sammy's got a 3-second penalty. That's the first penalty of the Grand Prix so far. We're only on lap 3 there, and I'm already perspirating from ear to ear. Goodness gracious me. About 20 minutes and 2 hours, right? Then we're on board. Then is anything for a decent night's sleep? Then Liam is saying as well that yes, I've read those comments a bit the wrong way around. Then here comes a controller who is in the Alpine. We haven't seen much of controller, so let's enjoy this, shall we? Then of course the debutant tonight. Then I think he's a full debutant unless he's changed his name somewhere. But controller then who is now really pushing Vintage there to the limit and beyond. He's gonna have a look. Oh goodness me, not through there. And a controller there who is just. I think he's just making a nuisance of himself there for Vintage at the moment. Vintage is 8th in the world champion, is superb in the championship. He's had a superb season so far. Oh, goodness me, again, a bit snaky on the rear end there of controller. He did have good control there, didn't he? Diashi is just lost out of position there because, look, Irvine is now marching through the 5th position there. This is a magnificent run so far from Irvine. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Yes, a very good start indeed. Becca is very happy with that start. She said this is class, man. Good stuff. Going down into turn number 7 once again then. So Irvine up into a superb 5th position there. Loving seeing that. Senna's got a penalty. Senna's really struggling this morning. You man bro up into a superb 3rd position. He's loving life in that Mercedes. And of course it's and who's that? Diash then give it squirrely on the old rear there as they get on the power a bit too much then. And now we've got Joseph who is coming. I'm not sure if Silent Shift has got damage or if he's struggling in terms of race pace at the moment there. Controller has got past Vintage in the end, and Vintage dropping down to 14th position. Goodness gracious me there, as Joseph has got some major lagging going on there, hasn't he? And that's going to really this is not going to help Enright getting past there. Enright is 5 seconds in front of Camera Racer there, and Joseph just popped in front there. So yeah, that's going to be very difficult to overtake that car, isn't it, there from Enright? And Camera Racer, I thought he hit the wall there. He was very close to the wall, wasn't he? Irvine is now on the back of Senna. There he is. Senna really struggling at this moment in time. Both McLarens are really struggling in terms of race pace there, and having a really struggling. Sarah Swisher saying, "Defo Becca, impressed I am there. My God, Yoda type in there." Yes, I'm very well. I love a bit of a Yoda type. Now keep it coming in, guys. I do enjoy a comment or three. Enright has got past Joseph. Joseph has made a mistake somewhere and is dropped back. No, he hasn't. He's back in front then. Goodness gracious me then. So I got to say, look, that McLaren has gone wide. There's silent shifting. It's in major peril. Look, he's limping down that back straight. There's a major problem for that McLaren. Is there? Both McLarens there are on the back foot at the moment. We're going to keep an eye on this one here between Senna and Irvine. The gap is already 2 seconds between himself and Bro. Bullet has got past Vintage there. Vintage has dropped down the order. And look at this then. And now we've got slipstream going on. Enright's got past silent shift. And then Irvine's up in the fourth position again past Senna. Senna down into fifth. And Senna is having a pretty disappointing run in this Grand Prix so far. Theo has now really leveled the gap between himself and Felipe. Felipe, what an incredible opening! What an incredible opening couple of corners it was there from Felipe. Got yellow flags and his Chappie is in peril as well at turn 18. I think it is going under the grandstand of course, where Bruno Senna crashed a couple of seasons ago, 2010 actually, wasn't it? So maybe 11 seasons ago actually. Goodness gracious me. Diashi then accelerates now, then Chappie's got a 3 second penalty. Lovely shot here from the side part of the Williams then, just having a quick flash of shadows then down in the Raffles at Boulevard once again then, or Boulevard I say, no, Boulevard, Boulevard, I don't know. That green song, it's a Green Day song, isn't it? The Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That's where I got that word from. But I'm sure it's called Raffles Boulevard, isn't it? Or Boulevard. I don't know. I've been calling it what it was for the past 2 nights. All of a sudden, I think I can't say it properly. Never mind. I don't think I've ever said it properly, to be fair. We've got Diashi though, who is in 6th position at the moment now, but Senna really struggling at the moment now. Becca is just asked, I wonder if Senna's forgotten his setup because he's struggling. We typed setups enough and you spammed it as well. Camera Racer has a 3 second penalty then. Into the pits comes Silent Shifting. So Silent Shifting is the first round into the pits. Look at the Papaya McLaren mechanics getting ready and primed to go then. And he is in the pits then. Is it a new nose cone? There is a new nose cone then, yes. So Silent Shifting does have damage. I'm not surprised because he clouded that barrier quite heavily, didn't he? And Silent Shifting there has changed the nose cone. He is back out now. Sammy has got a 3 second penalty as he's on his own at the moment now. You do notice that drivers do get a lot more penalties either later on the race set or when they're at the back of the field and really pushing on. Theo's got the gap down to under 2 seconds now. He's having a superb race, Theo, isn't he? Magnificent stuff once again. You mad bro is also on the tail. This is a great race so far. On great stuff indeed there from the 2 Alpine cars there. And now we got Controller who has got back past Alibi and back into 11th position there. And I think that's the way that the Alpine team wants to be at the moment because Alibi is on the hard tires whilst Controller the super sub tonight on the medium compound tires there. So he's on the quicker set of tires there. And look, Joseph is through. And he's up into 7th position there against past Shadows. But Shadows, look, that Enrise also cut up the inside. Enrise is up the inside. Contact. Oh, gosh, there. And I don't even know what happened there. I think Joseph's car just came out of nowhere. It's a safety car. And that was not good at all, unfortunately. Let me just take a quick look at the replay here then. As goodness gracious me, they've crashed into turn number 15 there. And oh, goodness gracious me, and that is not good at all, is it? And that is a shame now. So it looks like Shatters is saying that looks like Joseph and Shatters came to blows. Whilst on the stream, whilst on the view on the actual broadcast there, we thought that we just Joseph was left for session there. As Shatters and Joseph out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. So I think that we was getting 2 completely different things going on there, weren't we? Into the pits comes Senna, also having to change the nose cone. Both McLarens have damaged, and that's why Senna was struggling and dropping down the order there for car 69. But he's coming out of the pits now in the Papaya McLaren. Camera Racer in the pits, and we've also got Controller in the pits as well. And I'm looking for those Alfa Romeo mechanics, and there they are. There's a lot of drivers in the pits at this stage. So there's also a lot of nose cone changes as well. And Senna is coming out in 10th position there. Siege is now up into 9th position there. Gunnar into a very solid 8th as well. Good so far from Gunnar. Alfa Romeo mechanics are going to have to double the work here tonight. And now soft tires and for Bullet. He is going to go into a different strategy as well. And the Alfa Romeo mechanics now getting to work. He's going to lose an abundance amount of time, but he's on the medium tires. And Roscoe, is he going to get out in front of Camaro? It's going to be a race then to the line, but Camaro has done it just about it. But coming in the pits, and Alibi is on the soft tires, and Sammy also taking advantage of the safety car and coming in the pits while Mercedes mechanics primed and ready to go onto the the medium compound tire then. And now he's away, and Chappie also in the pits as well. So this is a going opportunity then for the drivers that they've had some issues so far. Becca's gone, oh my navy blue then. How is Joseph allowed to race? It costed me like 2 seconds a lap then, as I think there was connections issue there for Joseph, unfortunately. Then, yeah, so I think there's some couple of issues going on there for Joseph. Unfortunately, I think it's also hurt Shadows as well. But so that's a bit disappointing there, unfortunately. And yeah, such a shame indeed. But Jamie Enright now into 6th position there. So the drivers that haven't stopped in this race are the top 7. Sorry, the top 8 drivers then. Medium tires for the top 7, which is Felipe, who is his lead was coming down quite considerably, wasn't it? Really, I think Theo was in such good rhythm, wasn't it? Then Theo is now in the 2nd position with Human Brown 3rd, Irvine in 4th with Diashi 5th, Enright is 6th, Vincent 7th. That is all on those. They're all on the medium tires, and Gunnar in 8th position. He's on the hard tires. Gunnar is there and going along in this race. And Siege has got himself back in the 9th position there. Now he got Silent shifting and Senna in 10th and 11th then. Of course, they have been in the pits now, haven't they? And they got fresh medium tires. Siege was in the pits on the opening couple of laps there as well, after having some issues on lap 1 there. Camera Racer then also on the fresh medium tires. Roscoe came in the pits after lap 1 damage. Said he's on the hard tires. Controller on soft on fresh medium tires. Same with Billet as well. The Alibi is gone on soft tires, and Sammy on the medium tires along with Chappie as well. So that is how the running order is so far. Yeah, Serious Rush is saying it looked like a Joseph went straight on and Shadows hit the back of him. That's what I seen as well. But Shadows, but by the looks of it, Shadows was seeing that he was side by side with Joseph, and they both crashed as they were side by side going into turn number 15. Then, so we'll see how that one progresses. Then, but both drivers are out of the race then, which is absolutely such a shame. And Shadows is furious with what has gone on with that. Unfortunately, and it's such a shame as well, because both of them were in the we're in the points there and doing a good job. So we're on lap 8 of this race, and so we are here in Singapore. And of course, this is round number 14 of the Bronze World Championship. Theo at the moment is 2nd, and he is leading the World Championship as well. His rival in the championship is Enright, and of course Echo and Ayrton. Ayrton and Echo are not able to race like so, not very well. Hopefully they'll be back and fighting fit in the next race in 2 weeks' time in the Land of the Rising Sun, which is Japan there. So hopefully both of them are going to be fighting fit and ready for that very physical Grand Prix that is going to come up there. Controller's got a 5-second penalty then, as looks like Billet has gone to the back of him there potentially, and that's not good at all, is it? And I hope Billet hasn't got damage here. He hasn't got a 5-second penalty then, but that's not good at all, is it? Hopefully the safety car thing's going to be out for one more lap then. We're just waiting for Chappie to return to catch back up then. As just now on board that, as Liam was saying, just report the issues, guys. And as Liam just saying, report the issues. But that's such a shame, isn't it, for Shadows there? He's going to be furious with that, isn't he? Soft tires best for the rain. Oh goodness me, yes, I forgot about the rain. Oh my word, yes indeed. And yes, we are expecting a bit of the wet stuff to come down from the sky. So goodness gracious me. And is that for FIFA? I got FIFA on the brain tonight. Felipe, I thought he was peeling off into the pits there, but no, he's not there. There is going to be rain afoot then by the sounds of it, so there's rain later on in this race then. I didn't hear anything about rain, but we have in this race, and so this is going to get very interesting indeed then. So yes, Alibi then, hopefully saying, I hope it works then. And Becca saying cryptic thinking, strategical like that. So I'm not saying it's your fault, Shadows. I get it, mate. Then, and if that's my softs make it, and that's if my softs make it to the rain as well. Then, we're not sure when the rain is coming in, then, but we definitely know that definitely. I'm not sure if definitely is the right way to say it, but we know that the rain is on its way. Then, whether it get here or not before the end of the race, remains to be seen. We are expected to be on air hitting ALR until the end of this Grand Prix. Then, so we are expecting at least another 50 odd minutes of race in here tonight then, and I have got me Remy's as well then, to make sure that I don't have any sore throat issues or anything like that then. Just much said, I thought it was a dry race then. Not in this lobby, as Liam is saying, and yes, so I'm sure, I'm hoping it's, I'm sure I've seen somewhere saying it's raining. I think yes, so it is going to be rain in this race, and so it's really thrown a curveball, hasn't it, for the drivers then? So they're going to have to adapt, aren't they? They're going to have to adapt to the weather conditions, whatever they may be here tonight. Then, a quick shout out, thank you to all of you that have been joining us tonight on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Keyword comments coming in, and it's very good stuff indeed. Then, of course, like, share, and we'll do the old subscribe thing as well then. smash that like button, or no, smash that subscribe button and all those like stuff as well. Then good stuff indeed. Then I'm getting good at this YouTube malarkey, and I hope lovely stuff indeed. Then I'm doing it without even having to get a reminder now on my laptop. Absolutely great stuff. Just watching Felipe at the moment there. So safety car is in the end of the There's been a very long safety car period, and the safety car period was for Charles and Joseph, both out of the Grand Prix. There are only two. There's only two retirements so far. It's what has been quite a brutal race so far, hasn't it? And of course, we had a restart, didn't we? Of course, because of issues there, because of issues on the first start, and once again, but we'll soon find out that. And just now, as of course said, we're now going to be going green in just a jiff as well. These cables are getting on my nerves tonight. Goodness me, I don't know why I'm in am I in a different position there? Fantastic stuff indeed. That, as Becca is saying, almost nearly 400 subscribers. Yes, indeed. We've had 2 more in the last couple of days or so. So thank you very much indeed, there, guys. It's really makes my belly, really makes me all warm and fuzzy in my tum tum. Right, here we go, back racing once again. So Felipe then, who didn't want this safety car, I would suspect, because he was really struggling with Theo really putting the pressure on, but he's got a good run there, and Felipe is off the circuit there. He had a good run there, but he spun it from the lead of the Grand Prix, and who is that in the wall? Controller's in the wall, and so is Camera Racer then, and that's not a good start at all, unfortunately, and Felipe's dropped down the order. I don't think he's damaged the car, but I'm sure that the two that went to the barrier probably did, didn't they? And that's not good at all. Then we've also got Gunnar is now Gunnar, oh goodness me, on the outside there, but Gunnar is having none of that, is he? And now we got Senna, who's gone on the outside of his teammate. Now both McLarens have damage on the opening couple of laps there, and he's cut across his teammate there. We've also got Diashi, who's been overtaken by Edwards as well, going down into turn number 7 as well, and Gunnar is being left up. I think those hard tires have got to get up to temperature, and Gunnar is kind of being forced off the racing line here, and he's dropping down the order, and Roscoe is now on the outside of Gunnar, but Roscoe's been wrong tired as well, and he is down in 10th position. The Camera Racer is also having a look, and Camera Racer was one of the drivers I thought went into the barrier, but he seems to be alright, and Felipe has recovered well. He's gone back up to 12th, and he was down in 14th position there up until a certain point. And Chappie, who is just dropped down into 70th position there. It's good to see. I thought there was a clout on the barrier, and Chappie is out of control in that Williams there. I'm not sure about those setup then, but Chappie is not planted at all. Theo leads Uman Bro in second position. What an incredible debut Uman Bro sound fantastic. I look at this head. Theo, Uman Bro and Irvine, 2 of the top 3 from COBALT from last season there. Fantastic stuff indeed. Enright then, of course, who's been absolutely brilliant in qualifying, but today he's on a very strong race in 4th position. Enright is there, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep his championship hopes alive. There were 6 Grand Prix to go. He had a qualifying 2 band stay. He's put it behind him, and now he's very much on the ascendancy. Senna is now in 7th position now with Vintage in 6th, and Shifting is in 8th position now. Out of the final turn, and Senna's alongside, and we've got our 3 abreast in the turn 1. The second McLaren's out of luck there, but he's through, and in 7th position there. Vintage is dropping down into 8th. Roscoe cannot get past Gunnar still, as Gunnar's now found those tires. He's found the limit. He's got himself back up to speed now. A controller is in the pits then, so one of the 2 drivers, they cloud the barrier. Yellow flag in the background. Chappie is having a miserable race here tonight in the Williams car. Gunnar is not got DRS to attend with just yet. It's virtual safety car, as I think it is for Chappie's issue there, as Sammy's going to have to let Felipe go by, because he did it after oh goodness me, he did it after the virtual safety car was deployed. Then look, that's a wingless Williams there. Unfortunately, Chappie on a bit of a miserable night here tonight out of the pits there. Do I see rain? I think it's rain. There's rain afoot here then. So we got a bit of a light spit here in this race then. Oh goodness gracious me. Oh, and unfortunately, controller has completely missed the exit there. So, that is a lot of rain already, because it was just spitting now, and all of a sudden now it's coming in a deluge. I think that this is going to be an absolute monsoon of weather conditions. I think that they're going to have. And Chappie is out of the Grand Prix. He is out of the Grand Prix. That's our 3rd retirement. This is a lot of rain, I think, and of course we are next to the equator here in Singapore, and this one is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious me. And look at the raindrops that are falling on Theo's head here tonight. Look at those raindrops, they're massive here. Chappie is left for center. He's had a nightmare race here tonight. Chappie has, hasn't he? I think that this is going to be monsoon conditions. Is anyone going to come into the pits? We have got yellow flags as Camera Racer's dropping down the order. Camera Racer has gone off there. DRS has been enabled then. We're back racing then. Camera Racer has gone off then. I think he put a spurt on, and perhaps they just ran wide then. What's going on here then? And right then, having a look at Irvine then, but Irvine, no Dice Simone. Theo is completely gone away. Look at that, then the track is quite saturated already here. There's a lot that's going to be tippy-toeing. Controller is out of the race set as well, this debut. And a bit of a nightmare race set. Enright is on the outside. Irvine's not going to leave him space. He does leave him the space. Good racing from both. DRS has been enabled. Enright is up in the first position. He's on a superb race set. Intermediate tyre set for Diashi, for Felipe, for Billet as well. Gunner's gone onto the medium tyre set. There must be a mistake for Gunner. Look at how wet the track is out there on lap 12 out of 31 here. Sammy also on the medium tyres as well. This is absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious me, then Theo is just taken off there. He is absolutely loving these conditions, Theo. It's like, goodness me, he is a master of work in the Ferrari. There is another driver. There's another driver in a red car who used to be a master in the wet there. But actually, there's two, wasn't there? Because there's Jean Alesi back in 95, maybe one of the best wetwear driver specialists of that season, apart from the other man, and that is Shoot. Oh no! Sammy's out of the race, and I'm not sure if him and Felipe have cut the blows to the safety car. Sammy's out of the Grand Prix, and he is, oh goodness gracious me, and I'm not sure. We only seen the end of that then. Sam was also not happy about the fact that he asked for intermediate tyres and they put on the intermediate tyres and they put on the medium tyres, so safety car. And yes, I think it's going to every driver on the dry tyre is going to come to pits. I think the same thing happened to Gunnar as well. So I think all the drivers there are now going to be on the are now going to come in and go onto the intermediate tyre shop. That is, look at that spray. Theo is struggling around when we're even trundling around at the moment there, and the Ferrari mechanics then are out in the pit lane. They're ready for the Grand Prix leader. Here he is, and he's coming into the pits now then. And so let's see how this one progresses as well. And I've just seen someone in the comments saying double stack for the McLarens, and it will be as well. Senna is going to have to queue up, isn't he? He is going to have to queue up there. So this is a problem indeed then for the McLaren team there. So that's not good at all. And then so intermediate tyres for the Mercedes team then. That you mad bro. Oh goodness me then, and who was that? And that was Enright just going through then. And look, there he is. No, was it the Red Bull? And now out the pits comes Enright then in third position. They're good 17. Ferrari oh my goodness me, Ferrari mechanics are supersonic as they come in the pits, and now they're coming out then for Roscoe. Now Senna is getting service as well. Is he going to get out in front of Diashi? I think Diashi's going to be out in front of him. He should get out in front of Gunnar, because Gunnar is going to have to come in the pits there. Unfortunately for Gunnar, they put him on the wrong tyres, along with Sammy as well, unfortunately. But Sammy's out of the Grand Prix now, and that is such a shame. And into the pits there comes Gunnar then. So Gunnar's having a great start to this race there, but unfortunately wrong tyres from the Aston Martin team has really cost him majorly in this race there for Gunnar. But there the intermediate tyres and safety car would have helped Gunnar out no end, I would say. Then out comes car 83 then, and he is back on the circuit as well. Felipe in the pits, and he's got damage to his front wing then, as Felipe has gone from leading the race down into 14th position, and he has got no wing then on the Haas car. And so yes, there's the wing now getting ready then. Felipe changing the nose cone as well, and of course there's clips on the nose cone to easily change the front wing now, and Felipe will be out now, and there he goes then. So Felipe out in 15th position now. He spun it when he was leading the race then. He spun it when leading in the race there, coming out when the safety car ended, or the second safety car ended in this race there, unfortunately. So let's see then what he can do from here on in. But he's down in 15th position now at the moment. Now, fantastic stuff so far in this race. It's been an absolutely mesmerising Grand Prix. Really enjoyed this one. So Theo leads the race and he's regained the pole position that he lost it on the start, and there's a short run down into turn one then. So Theo had a pretty appalling start, I would say. You mad bro, 3 positions there. Enright's up 10 so far. Superb drive there for Enright. Lovely stuff indeed there. Irvine up 2 positions there, and Diashi jumping down 2 positions. Up 11 positions is Roscoe. Superb stuff from the Ferrari team there. Siege is up 9 positions there. Up 10 is also Alibi as well then. So there's some big movers there, and also we've also got some big non-movers, or big droppers I should say, as Felipe is down in 50 positions. He's down 11 positions there. Look at how much rain there is there, as we may be on course for 4 wet tyres then in the not too distant future in this one. So keep an eye out for that one, as I think all the drivers are going to be very much on their toes then. So safety cars out at the moment, and as we are just waiting for the drivers then to catch back up, then let's go through the full grid then at the moment. So we're on lap 13 and we're not even at half distance in this Grand Prix yet. Usually a normal World of ALR racing then, I think that we'll be coming to the end of the race and we're not even at half distance, are we? That does even include that, of course, that we've had a delayed start. And Theo leads the Grand Prix. Second is Bro. He is standing up in the seat of that Mercedes. He's doing a superb job, Bro is. Third position is Enright. He is my star of the show so far. Fantastic stuff from Enright to navigate his way through the field. Irvine in fourth position, superb. Fifth position is Diashi with silent shifting in sixth there. Roscoe is in seventh. There's a wing gone from Camaro Racer. Unfortunately, Camaro Racer is having a nightmare on his 43rd Grand Prix start for COBALT. He's also got a 3-second penalty, and now it's probably oh goodness me, it's Camaro Racer. I thought he was in the barrier then, but luckily he's okay. Just about it. Oh goodness me, he's just floated off the circuit as well. He's got away with that look somehow, but he's also got a 5-second penalty. Camaro Racer as well. He's out of the race, and unfortunately, I think I might get him some negative points on the board then. But of course, that is down to the admin. Of course, you do get negative points if you do return the pits more than once, and it also contributes to the joint constructs as well, of course. There, as he's a camera racer is now coming out of the pits, then, so we're down to 14 cars in this race. Then safety cars out of the moment. Felipe is just catching up to the back then, and I think the safety car should be in at the end of this lap then. And here we go. Then Becca saying rain equals a boring race now. Then as serious rush, Jamie's going to win now. Liam saying it's hard to overtake in the wet though. Indeed it is, and but I think that Enright then what's he going to do? Is he going to go for broke, or is he going to go? Or is he going to think about? The points that he's gaining here at the moment? However, having said that, then the gap in the championship is 33 points. Then, of course, so he will be losing another 10 points if it stands moment. So the gap will be up to 43 points at the end of this Grand Prix. So that's what everyone's got to think about. But remember, it's also about fighting another day. Then safety cars in this lap in Singapore in the wet. How is he going to be feeling about this one then? Japan then in 2 weeks' time. Of course, I think you need to have a strong qualifying. If Enright avoids a qualifying ban or a qualifying 2 ban, then I think he might be happy with. I think that he may go on to get pole position in Japan then, so he may have to think about the long game here. However, having said that, Theo has been absolutely superb in qualifying as of late, hasn't he? So as Felipe coming absolutely flying through that final part of this lap then. So it is all. So he's got to think about the long game as well. But you need to take your chances when they come then, because they don't come too often in the world of Formula One now. So it's going to be a tough decision there. But what will Enright do then? What will Theo do? You mad bros on the championship battle, is he? So you mad bro is just out there to really cause havoc for himself and get a Grand Prix win under his belt for the first time in his bronze career. And here we go then. And Theo's got to be very careful. I remember what happened to Felipe on the start of the last restart. Theo out of the final turn then, and here he goes then. So he's going now then. And yes, and here we go then. Look, Enright's already alongside, and he gets past him. He gets past you, mad bro. So Enright is flying through and up into, and Irvine there is also stuck through as well. There's contact down in turn one. I think Enright there surprised you, mad bro. Did he get damaged there? I'm not sure. Then we've also got Diashi who's well off the racing line there. You mad bro is got back past Irvine there on the short run, then up into turn number 4. Look at this battle here. Then there's Senna involved as well. Abilities in 10th position. Sorry, 9th position. Alibis in 10th. And no DRS, of course. And DRS has been disabled, I think, anyway, in this race. And of course, the DRS does get disabled in the wet weather there. It should be disabled then, because there's a lot of water out there at the moment. There's a Senna in 11th position there. He has gone wide though, hasn't he there? And that may entice Vintage to have a sniff up the inside. Not quite though. Here is Siege, and he's 2/10 seconds away from Roscoe. Roscoe's having a superb race at the moment in the Ferrari. Roscoe is at the moment, and as we're down into the Singapore thing. Then Theo leads the Grand Prix by 6 tenths of a second. Enright though is now in second position. And after that really good restart, but you mad bro. Oh, Irvine has gone into the back of you mad bro there. So I think as accelerating away there, Irvine is having a bit of an adventure start here, and I'm wondering if he's struggling with the rain at the moment. You mad bro is having a look up the inside. No dice at the moment, but Silent Shifting is up the inside. He does get the position there, but he's gone wide then. So Irvine is going to go up and under there. Of course, doing the old undercut there. Is he good stuff with that? The old switcheroo. He's back up into full position there, but he's gone wide there. But it's a very hard, difficult place to overtake on this there. And Irvine has the high ground. He has the position. And yes, indeed. Then, however, then I think this is only a matter to Irvine struggling. I think Irvine's got damage there. Look, he's lost 2 seconds there. Is there a problem for the Red Bull? Maybe he's just not liking these weather conditions there for Irvine. It's not going well all of a sudden there for the man who's fourth in this race. And oh dear, that is not good at all. And Irvine is staying out there, but I think he's just struggling with the wet weather conditions so far. Some drivers absolutely adore the wet conditions. Other drivers don't then. And I'm wondering if Irvine is struggling at the moment in these wet weather conditions. I think he is then. And Silent Shift and Roscoe. And there's a train now starting to form behind Irvine. We got Felipe just getting past Vintage and Moon up in the 12th position there. And goodness me. And here they come. And right, it's now 5 tenths a second, 4 tenths a second, 5 tenths a second behind his championship rival. There they are, and there's you, Matt Bro, in the background, in the foreground as well there. And we're just keeping a close eye on this battle here. Then Roscoe and Siege and having a look. Then we're on board with Siege down into turn 7 in the Alpha Tari. Roscoe's gone wide into turn 8. Then 7, I should say. But there is nothing that Siege can do so far, and it's very difficult to overtake on certain parts of this track. Then you have to. That is Alibi defending from Senator on there. Senator's trying to get through as well. I know exactly what the viewers have said in the comments as well. It's very difficult to overtake on a wet circuit in Singapore, and you're now finding out, haven't we? Half distance here in this Grand Prix officially. It's on lap 16 out of 31 as we come over the Anderson Bridge. Then Roscoe's dropped to a second back from Silent Shift. Now Roscoe is gone into a very may have gone into a defensive rhythm for the minute there. And look, Silent Shift now to look again. This time is a bit too far back. Accelerates and away then out of turn 16. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty somehow. I'm not sure where. I think he must have run wide there at turn 15 now. That's a harsh penalty to say. Gunner's also got a penalty as well, unfortunately. This is survival of the fittest, this race is, though, isn't it? So keep going guys. You've got to make sure that you're focused, haven't you? Because there is still, as we said, there's still half the race to go, and this is where the concentration is going to drop, isn't it? This is where it's going to get very tough indeed for the drivers there. So you have to make sure that you stick with it. You've got to make sure that you're still fully focused. You're still as sharp as a knife, then, for the remainder of the race. And look at the top 3 then, almost 2 seconds in front of Irvine, who is struggling at this moment. And Silent Shifting in 5th position, Roscoe in 6th there. And the grid is now starting to spread out then, and the field spread in the street circuits is quite apparent then. But when it's raining as well here in Singapore, you cannot get on the loud pedal before the car in front of you does that. Enright is pushing field as well. And look at you, Mad Bros, also in the facility as well. Here is the top 3: Ferrari, Haas, Mercedes, all in the same shot then, and here we go then. This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Senna was having a look then, and look, Senna's dropped back. Senna's the wrong way round, that's why he is the wrong way round. Senna is there, and oh goodness me, I hope he hasn't damaged the car in the McLaren there, but he has got an abundance amount of time then, and an abundance amount of time there. Senna's got a gain then, but he's gone the wrong way. He's spun it, and unfortunately he's the wrong way around. Roscoe's having to pull and run out of turn at number 10, I think, and it go down to the Singapore sling then. Of course, that barrier peaks out, doesn't it? Enright has made a mistake somewhere, because all of a sudden Theo's took off there. He's almost a second out of a second gap over himself and the Haas and his Haas rival in the form of Enright then. And you Mad Bro is now 3 tenths a second back. He is gaining it, you Mad Bro, but he's too far back at the moment. And the rain, I'm not sure if is this rain coming and going, or is it staying then? Is it staying then for the remainder of the race? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Just now on board with Roscoe again in the Ferrari. Silent Shifting's got a 3-second penalty then, and a 3-second penalty for Roscoe, for Silent Shifting, for Diashi, Guna and Senna. Those penalties may come back to hurt the drivers later on in this Grand Prix. That I would hazard a guess that lap 17, Theo is still leading by 7 tenths a second, and he is keeping his championship rival Enrod behind him now. And of course, there's 7 points there that separates first and second in the scoring order then at the end of this race, and that is going to be 7 more points on the account then for Theo over Enright. Then look at this, the rain is starting to really steady down a bit now, so it was a deluge when it first started raining, but it's really started to settle down now. It's really started to settle down. Theo, but then again, Enright there is all of a sudden right on the back now. The Grand Prix leader. Look, Theo is now under major pressure indeed there, but he takes off at turn 5 absolutely splendidly well. Sent him out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, then, so he's coming in and he's parked the car. He is out of the race, unfortunately. Enright there is still pushing on the one. It's a great drive so far from Enright, a multiple Grand Prix winner in bronze there, but it's not been his sheer pace for Enright. It's been about his consistency that's been questioned, hasn't it, for the Haas driver, but this has been a superlative drive, hasn't it, so far for him. The rain's getting heavier all of a sudden then, and I'm wondering now if we're going to maybe thinking about the wet tyres. Then it is not wet tyres just yet, and there's no standing water on the racing line then, but you can see puddles forming off the racing line then, so maybe you may have an extra stop in this race. Oh my golly gosh, I don't think I can take much more action here in this one now. Goodness me. Down at Raffles at Boulevard once again, and Enright is getting closer. He's getting closer. Oh, goodness me, they're almost tapping the rear end of Theo. And look, you mad bros of the facilities as well. Irvine is staying the ship there. And now he is yellow flagging too. And Gunnar's had some issues there over the Anderson Bridge there. Is there problems there for the Aston Martin? Has he got damage? And look, there's puddles there. I don't think he's damaged the car. Back in the front, and Theo is now forming his own version of the trolley train here on board. Now, look at this. There's Irvine there. And yes, Theo is really struggling now. So there is a lot of water out there, and not good. This is very tough indeed. And Theo, is he coming in the pits? No, he's just dummying Enright. But you mad bros in the pits, I remember what he did in the Hungarian Grand Prix last season. You mad bros go in the pits, and it is absolutely appalling where we can this. Theo's trying to break the slipstream now. He's weaving, going down into turn 1 there. And look, the rain is absolutely relentless. It's wet tyres for you, mad bro. Remember the Hungarian Grand Prix where he put on the wet tyres there, and of course he was absolutely superb that day. He finished second, did he? But he absolutely reined in. That is a pun. He reined in then. He reined his competitors and was superb. Let's see how this one progresses then. And Enright then is just dropping back slightly then from the driver's front end. So we're keeping on the gaps at the moment. Then Gunnar and you mad bro then. That is what we're going to compare first then. Mad bro, Irvine, Siege, Diashi, Felipe and Vintage all on the wet tyres. And look at the intermediate tyres. They are struggling at the moment now. And what is you man bro doing over Gunnar? He is gaining time hand over fist, and look at that then. Yes, it's down to 4.7 seconds. 4.7, 4.7, 4.6 now, 4.6. It is coming down in steroids. The time is oh my word, and now over the Anderson Bridge. So have the drivers in front made a mistake then, the silent shift in Enright, Roscoe, Theo and Billet and Colan? Have they made a mistake by not coming into the pits on those wet tyres? Enright almost off there for you, almost went into the wall then. It is very precarious out there now. It might be survival of just trying to stroke the car home potentially. This is going to be a tough one then in the end here. And my goodness me, that is heavy rain indeed. There's oh my gosh, oh goodness gracious me, there's Enright just went over me bush there. Oh good gosh, Alibi is now catching on Billet as well. There is the battle for 5th and 6th position there. You mad bro is now almost less than a second back from Gunnar. That is in one lap. What do the drivers do then? I think the wet tyres may be the way to go then. Is Theo into the pits? And he is in the pits, and the championship leader has come in the pits. Everyone is in the field, and Enright that is cheeky. Goodness gracious me then. Enright is coming into the pits there. I'm not sure if that's bona fide or not, but nice cheeky indeed there. He is coming to the pits, and yes, the Haas mechanics are getting ready then to go with it, and he's in the pits, and there are 4 wet tyres and for Enright then. How much time have they lost there? You mad bros coming out of the final turn then. I don't think he's lost too much time at all. Gunnar is staying out there. Enright is coming out of the pits down, and he is going in front of Field, but cheekily I would hazard a guess then. And where is that? There's your bad bro. Look, he's taken the lead, you bad bro. He's done what he did in Hungary, and Gunnar is up in the front for this now, but Gunnar may not be able to find this one. He can't find this one then, and Irvine there is got in the groove there on those wet tyres. Theo's had a major peril now, because he's dropped down into ninth, but it's the championship leader. Oh, in contact there is Theo in almost silent shift away into the barriers there. Oh my word there. Enright's in trouble there. Goodness me, Enright says that Gunnar's going to go for it. No, it's Enright going for it. Gunnar! Oh my goodness me, that Gunnar turned in there. And then Irvine is going to try and get past Gunnar as well. Goodness me, the gap is going to close. Has contact at the back end. And look at that, a siege on the right-hand side as well. This is incredible stuff, man. Gunnar there has become the cork in the ball here. Oh, and the Irvine there almost getting forced into the barrier. There is Gunnar strong on the intermediate tyres there. The gap is now 11 seconds out. That's not for the lead, by the way. Now it's just for second position. Alibi and Billet leads the Grand Prix. And Irvine on the outside. Oh, contact there. It's all going to be almost into the barrier there. Oh, my goodness me. As they go over the Anderson Bridge there. This is incredible stuff. And indeed that. And as I just take a look at the comments there, because I just wanted to hear your opinions on what Emrite did cut in the pit lane. To be honest, I technically think it's absolutely genius. And I think I've seen someone else saying it's genius as well. Going in to turn 15, now Gunnar's having to steer out there, isn't he? He's struggling on those intermediate tires. Yellow flag in sector 2, as we got some problems there, haven't we? As Theo is in 7th position there, as we just got Roscoe dropping down the order, and Siege is off the circuit. Siege is well off the circuit. He's dropped down to the back of the field on those wet tires. Only 3 drivers on the intermediate tires. That it is these 2 here who are battling for the lead. Then Gunnar dropping down the order. Gunnar is dropping down the order. Then as struggling now. Gunnar's at the back of this pack now. Felipe is up into his 9th position now. Theo's got a 3-second penalty then for his troubles. And Enright then who is got in front of Becca said it was Emrite that said, Becca that said it was genius from Emrite. Yes, it was. Just going back to that then, yes, Jamie, give the place back, or that's a DQ. Liam is saying, and that's fair. If he didn't speed, then no, it's not hard. And as Beck saying, genius said, yeah, it's not. Just watch the back laugh out loud. Then, yes. So Enright there has not. Looks like the Liam has asked Enright to get the position back. Then, goodness me, this is like Schumacher and Schumacher in the '94 and British Grand Prix. There's drama galore here. As of course there, it was as a cheeky manoeuvre, isn't there? And look at you, man, brother. So he leads the Grand Prix on his debut here in bronze, and he could win his first race in bronze. Fantastic. He's 10 laps away, and he is only 2 seconds away from these drivers here then, who are hanging it out on the intermediate tires. The wet tires are the way to go, but this is a great driving indeed from everyone up and down the field. Then look at the rain now. It's absolutely hosing down. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. And just accelerating out then and down at Raffles at Boulevard. This is absolutely mega stuff indeed. That Jamie's a gift that keeps on gifting serious fresh fast. And Phil, how has he dropped down so much? And Liam, he got the undercut. Oh, did he? Jeepers. Yes. Your man, bro. He's just steamed in. He's taken second position. He's going for the lead. He's going for the lead. He's on the outside. He takes the lead. The Singapore Grand Prix. Billet sends it. He is off into the barrier. And Billet there was trying too hard potentially. And he's in the wall. Billet is there. Goodness me. I'm thinking that there is a maybe live to fight another day there for Billet. He was on course, maybe to still get some major points here, but that was maybe too much then of it. You man, bro. I think Siddiq coming there, but Billet there unfortunately is down the order. He's got some major damage indeed. That Alibi is staying out. Alibi's doing a superb job there. He's qualified 19th on the grid, and now he is in a third position. And right now goes up in his second as well. He lost a lot of time now because you man, bro, has found 2 seconds. Irvine is maybe on course for getting third position here. He's on the correct tires, and Silent shifting in fourth. Theo is in 6th position there, but he's got a 3-second penalty. Theo has a Felipe skating across turn 1 there, and I'm not sure if he kept that position or not really. Then I think in the letter of the law he might have to give that one back, but if the game hasn't told him, then it's all fair then. And Billet coming into the pits there, unfortunately he did send it, and that was maybe too much of a send then. Incredible stuff indeed. Then he now comes out of the pit set. Cryptic and Pitton. No, he's not then. Cryptic is staying out. He's the only driver now on the intermediate tires then. And I think he's doing a superb job there. Up the inside goes Silent Shift, and then Irvine's already up into third position now. So Silent Shift is then to fourth. And Alibi is struggling now, is he there? Because look at it. It's absolutely hosing down with 9 laps to go. How long is this heavy rain going to stay here for? Is it here for the remainder of the race? Or is Alibi holding out then for when it goes back to the intermediate tires? Because the best way to dry a Formula 1 track is to of course have 13 F1 cars driving around and hosing the water back into the sky. That's what he wants to do. But the moment Theo, of course, who's down in 5th position, he had this race under control in the dry, but unfortunately the wet has gone a bit pear-shaped on, especially when the heavy rain has come now. And unfortunately Theo's day is going to turn a bit to a nightmare there, but he's got to make sure he doesn't damage his wing then with Alibi showing on the wet tires, and he should have the purchase there. Remember, you man, bro, had so much purchase coming out of here. but Alibi doing a good job to defend that. Great stuff indeed there as Theo is getting a push, but now Theo has Felipe for company, and Felipe, goodness me, is pushing Alibi, pushing Theo. Goodness gracious me there, Felipe, a very aggressive driver, isn't he? We've seen it on the opening lap here tonight, and again, and he's pushed again, and who's that? That's I think that's Gunnar off into over the Anderson Bridge there. He's had some issues there, Gunnar has, unfortunately, so that's not good, is it there for the Aston Martin driver? Look at this, and Felipe is really keen to get past it. Enright is all at the back now of it's Theo's off the circuit. Theo, the championship leader, is going wrong for the Ferrari driver, and Theo is down at the back there. Oh my goodness me, then I'm not sure he's got damage there. He must have clouted the pit lane barrier here. Oh my goodness me, as you mad bro leads in, but Enright has caught up behind him quite rapidly here at this stage of proceedings there, and Felipe has got past Alibi and moved up in the 6th position there. Diashi is going to be the next driver to get past as well. Oh, but Diashi slamming it, and Alibi slamming the door shut on the nose corner. Diashi, as Alibi there still doing a good job on those intermediate tires. Incredible stuff indeed there, and this is absolute incredible stuff indeed there. As yes, there's cries of no in the comment there as Theo is dropped down into 10th position there, and goodness me then, so Theo is dropped down into 10th there. I hope he hasn't got damage in the Ferrari. He is still getting points, and no he isn't, because Vintage has got no penalties, and that could help him here. You mad bro still leads this race on 23 out of 31 there, and right is second. Third position is Irvine doing a superb job there, but Silent Shifting is wants that podium in 4th there. Felipe in 5th, Diashi in 6th there with Alibi 7th. Roscoe is really now giving Alibi some cause for concern. We're on board Roscoe. This is best performance of the season so far. I would hazard a guess then for Roscoe. He's doing a superb job, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed then. Absolutely mega stuff. Roscoe then up in his 7th position now. Alibi down into 8th and almost into the Tech Pro barrier. Oh, and almost spinning as well. Siege there is also going to be surging forward as well. Theo, I think, has got damage there. His pace is gone. His pace is gone in the Ferrari. He is going to be limping. He's a wounded Ferrari now. Theo is the pole sitter. Is not out. Is now this race is turning into a nightmare now for the pole sitter, hasn't it? Unfortunately, the back of the front end is 4/10 of a second. Then between it, you man, bro, and Enright then is 5/10 of a second. This is incredible stuff indeed. There and now, Enright then he hasn't won a Grand Prix. Enright, let me get my old book up. Since no, he won it in the Dutch Grand Prix, didn't he? Enright did that, and he got second in the Italian Grand Prix. Oh goodness me! I thought he was sliding there. Enright though, this will be a great win there. This will be his 4th win of his season. I think it'll be his 6th win of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken there. But this will be a great result for you, man, bro. He I think is the rain master in all of ALR, isn't he? There, however, there he really knows how to call the strategy, doesn't he? When he knows that there's heavy rain afoot there, he just puts on those wet tires and he flies. That's how he propelled himself up in Hungary to get second, and today he's propelled himself up into the lead here in Singapore. Theo is out of the Grand Prix, and that is not good news for Theo, and it's a safety car. It's a safety car now then, so what is that going to do? Oh no, Roscoe has a 5-second penalty as Roscoe's got a severe collision there with Diashi, and Roscoe then he's going to be furious at that, isn't he, unfortunately. And Gunnar could indeed get a point in this race. There is that Felipe is in AI mode. I'm not sure if that has contributed to the issues there. Of course, I think the Felipe, though, of course, you have to go into AI mode then to check what's going on. 12 cars remain there. Gunnar is on the cusp of the points as well. Serious Mercy saying shout out to the Irish guy who could get a point as well. Felipe, get me damaged, so my race is ruined there from Alibi. What a shame there for Alibi. He was doing such a good job on those intermediate tyres then. Oh my goodness me, there's going to be a lot of broken hearts at the end of this one, I would say. 8 cars out of the Grand Prix. Joseph and Shatters, Chappie, Controller, Sammy, Camera Racer, Senna and Theo all out of this race then. Is the rain going to change that? Is there going to be anyone coming into the pits then? Is Enright there? I was thinking about coming to the pits and of course there technically I think he might be in the naughty book of the stewards there for what he did, that manoeuvre coming into the coming into the pits. Then, I mean, we have seen in other interesting drivers coming to the pits. I remember what Alonso did to Felipe Massa in the Chinese Grand Prix 2010, was it? Possibly, when they was trying to come in to get service first for wet tires. But having said that, then I think that you do need to start to come in the pits. So with the white line on the track there, I think that's when you do need to come in the pits. And so that's the official FIA rule book. If we're going along those lines, that the game hasn't technically penalised him, has it? Intermediate tyres still, and there's intermediate tyres for a lot of drivers here. Now this is another development in the race. Like this race is going. There's so many twists and turns in this one. I cannot keep up there. Gunnar also in the pits as well, as Billet has stayed out there. So Gunnar coming into the pits as well, doing a superb job so far. Gunnar is in one of the most toughest races, I'm sure, of his career in ALR. He is the most experienced driver in ALR. I've lost count of how many races he's done then, but he is the only one of, I'm sure it's 3 drivers now, because I need to check if Farf raced in Farf never raced in Cobalt, but he's one of 2 drivers that has raced in Cobalt, Cobalt, Gold, Bronze and Silver. Then Gunnar is there, and the other man is of course at Bulky Volcano there. It's out of the pits now comes Gunnar on the intermediate tyres then. So I still think it's very wet out there, isn't it? Serious much, and then Alibi saved their man. I jumped so many people right now. Still points. Come on, come on, Alibi. Ooh, Becca is saying as well. Then it's yes, there are so many twists and turns, isn't there? Well, yeah, going back to the Enright issue coming in the pits. He jumped field, didn't he? He went off the. He was continuing on the racetrack. Then he cut the pit entrance technically and came in the pits. I think on the game, I think that's been perfectly legal. However, as you might burn AI mode then, as long as it doesn't cause any gremlins. Oh no, it's serious. Silent shifting's off the circuit, and now it's propelled Vintage to 4th now, and that's damage on the McLaren there. And Vintage, Silent Shifting is going to be kicking himself now. Oh goodness me, he is thrown away. He's thrown away a hat full of points potentially there, but there is a big old gap between himself and Diashi. 18 seconds to be precise, so he's going to come to the pits then. Yeah, Silent Shifting is coming to the pits then. Oh goodness me, he's gone wide there as he comes into the pits now. And so he's slowing down then to 60 kilometers now. McLarens are out on the pit lane. Is he going to get out in front of Diashi then? So Diashi is, as we said, then 18 seconds away. Then McLaren, he's on the intermediate tyres. Is this going to be the strategy to win in the race? As he now comes out of the pit. So it looks like, by the sounds of it, as Liam has just flown at the black flag then for the championship, for the man who's second in the world championship. And right then, of course, so this is exactly like Silverstone 94. Then goodness gracious me! Of course, Liam. If anyone's new to Grand Prix, to ALR Grand Prix racing, then of course, Liam is the head admin. Oh no! And Silent Shifted has spun the car, and the intermediate tyres is very precarious there with so much standing water. Billet there is in the pits as well. He's just coming out now. It's very heavy rain still. Anyway, going back to my point, Silent Shifted rudely interrupted me. So Liam is the head admin there, isn't he? And right there is technically, of course, he skipped coming into the pit lane, didn't he? And technically, that if in the real world of Formula 1, I don't think that would be allowed. And so the black flag has been waved then for Enright, and that's not good, is it? Oh goodness gracious me! Then it's so that is not good at all, is it? Jeepers Lego Cryptic, a bit harsh, said Becca saying. See, that's as Becca saying. See, that's harsh in my eyes, said. As I think that's in reference to the pit incident. Then don't get me wrong. I think that I think it was a very good manoeuvre. Then, if you got away with it on the game, then why not, kind of thing. But in the letter of the law, in the real world of Formula 1, which we liked in league racing, you have to abide by more often than not. I would say in the real world of Formula 1, he did technically skip coming into the pit lane. And remember the amount of drivers that got towed off there for doing stuff like that. Remember Kimi Räikkönen got a penalty, didn't he? In the race at Mugello, didn't he? Where he miss the bollard. hard or something, and veered into the pit lane. So that's kind of where I'm getting my theory from. Having said that, though, I think there can be a lot of ups and downs in this one. Goodness gracious me, then. Silent drift in there for Serious Special. I love it. That's been fantastic. That is has really done a good job indeed there. And of course, it's now your chance then for voting for driver of the day. Then, who is your driver of the day? Then we've still got a safety car at the moment there, as we got 4 drivers on the wet tires, and I think that anything can happen still in this one, because even with the wet tires on for the top 4, is the intermediate tires the best way to go? We're down to 12 cars in this race. There is so much to happen there. Jake Wilson's asked what's happening. Liam has said that unfortunately Jamie Enright there came into the pit. So he came into the basically he accelerated out of turn 22, going into turn 23 on the racetrack, and then he cut coming into the pit entrance there, and he overtook Theo in doing that, because of course the wider you go out of those 2 turns, you're going to have more speed, and he had a lot of speed coming into the pit lane as well. So that is going to be very difficult indeed, because how is Jamie meant to see the comments in the race? Haha. I think that that's what Becca meant. I thought that Becca meant then it's a black flag in terms of the in terms of the incident itself. It's Billet is out of the race then. Billet has gone off, and oh goodness me, under the safety car as well. So Billet has potentially thrown away a chance there for points here. Gutner could end his pointless streak here tonight with 4 laps to go. He just needs to keep going. Gutner does that. Oh goodness me, there'll be a wall celebrations over in Ireland tonight, and if Gutner gets in the points, then fantastic for the Aston Martin driver. Really good stuff indeed then. Golly gosh said, so absolutely incredible stuff then. And they're just on board now then. So yes, Guna will actually get a point then, because if Enright has been black flagged in this race then yes, that may be the case there. But of course there was debris there, wasn't there? I hope Bro didn't crash into the back of the safety car, then that would be absolute heartbreak, wasn't it, here tonight then. Inters is not good, Billet is saying there. Unfortunately, he's found out the hard way, hasn't he? So, driver of the day is now in progress, as Cole said. So it's the new poll on in the ALR on the ALR YouTube kind of thing then. And so far, the driver of the day awards is going to Vintage. I have no qualms about that. He's doing a superb job, Vintages. He's my star to show, Vintages, and also you Mad Bro as well. I think you Mad Bro on 43% now. You Mad Bro, brilliant strategy call as well. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And then now let's get back racing, because the safety car lights are off. So we've got a bit of a drama also in the comments going on there. So we've got a bit of debate about the Enright situation there, but at the time of that Enright. Oh no! And you Mad Bro is coming in the pits, and he has damage there. Oh goodness me! And I thought he'd driven into the safety car. You Mad Bro is on course then for maybe a superb Grand Prix win, and it's gone completely wrong now. And Enright leads the race then with just a couple laps to go. Or is there Irvine? Is there a Red Bull 1-2 here? Oh my goodness me! Now of course this is where it's going to get very political, isn't it, now in this Grand Prix? So I don't really know, but I'm going to call it as I see it then. As of course, as the old saying goes in catchphrase, the first driver on the intermediate tyres, of course, though, is Diashi. We've got you Mad Bro on the intermediate tyres. Well, it's the wet tyres the way to go. I think that I think it's very much borderline. This is between the wets and the inters there with 3 laps to go. I think the wet tyres is the safer bet. However, the majority of the field is on the intermediate tyres. Ross going in superb 7th, Alibi in 8th, then shifting in 9th, then, or silent drifting then is serious. Oh, hit the wall, and that's Diashi out of the race, and the intermediate tyres are so precarious here, and Diashi is out of the Grand Prix, and that just shows how borderline it is. The intermediate tyres are. It's a safety car again then in this race, and that may help you Mad Bro. And the wet tyres actually got with 4 seconds away from Siege, who's now in the 4th position, Felipe in 5th, and Roscoe in 6th position there. Becker, Vintage podium, he's now in 3rd position. Vintage is absolutely incredible stuff indeed there. Billet, wet butter then. Go on Vintage lad then. Incredible stuff. Safety car again then, and goodness gracious me, that Vintage said, here he is, and what a performance there from Vintage. 64% of the votes as well, and no qualms for that. That's fantastic for Vintage, and he's going to have a sprint finish there. I think Vintage would have rather have not had a safety car at all. That as you mad bro is sliding around those intermediate tires, I think wet tires is probably the safest bet in the final stage of this Grand Prix, as Enright they're leading this race there. However, Enright is racing technically under appeal now, isn't he, there, with a black flag infringement there, of course, as he's of course, what he did then, he accelerated around these two turns here, then he went into the pit lane, and in that process, he overtook Theo. That was earlier on in the race, he didn't get the position back, and now he has been black flagged then from the Grand Prix, and the drama is absolutely electric here. There's too much drama for my liking. It is 5 to 10 here in the UK-ish, 2 minutes away. It's 5 to 10 here in the UK. My golly gosh, this race has flown by, actually. Incredible stuff indeed then. So I think that we should get finished just before 10 o'clock then, which is good stuff for Liam, hopefully, and for me as well, because I'm going to need to get some shot eye at the end of this one. This is absolutely incredible stuff indeed. And just on board with Enright. And so Enright leads the Grand Prix, but technically it's Irvine that leads the Grand Prix. Irvine has never won a race in ALR bronze before, and he as we said, then he's been one driver that I have been oh no. Well, he's one driver that I was expected to be very much in the championship fight then. However, as you mad bros in the pits, he's back on the full wet tires then. Yes, the intermediate, I think that underlines that the intermediate tires is probably not the best shout at this moment in time then. Alibi is also on the wet tires as well, with 29 out of 31. Irvine's there won a Grand Prix there. He won a couple of Grand Prix in COBALT, hasn't he? And now he could be on the cusp of his first ever Grand Prix win in bronze here in Singapore. Oh my golly gosh then. So you mad bro's got quite a bit of time to gain then. He's almost 40 odd seconds there behind Guna then, and of course I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap then, because we've only got 30 and 31 there. So you mad bro is going to have to really put his toe down, isn't he, then, as Alibi, and yeah, safety car is in the end of this lap then. I don't think you mad bro is going to catch it to the back of the crocodile here then. Alibi should catch it to the back of the crocodile then. I'm on the edge of my seat then, goodness gracious me then. Jake Wilson, Gunnar points, and yes indeed then. And we've also got Troy saying Gunnar just finished now, please. And yes, Gunnar, who is a super, he's going to end his barren, his pointless run then here tonight. Gunnar is in a superb fashion there for the Irishman. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Alibi should get up to the back then. As I said, you mad bro is too far back, and I don't think you mad bro will get any more points than 2 tonight then, as the raindrops are now just streaming down the camera then. And incredible, and now out to the final turn then. Enright, when is he going to drop the hammer then, as of course said. So Irvine and Vintage at a second, now first and second, and it's a Red Bull 1-2 then. We're back racing. This could be the first 1-2 of the season in all of ALR tonight then. Out of the final turn on lap 30 out of 31. We've had no 1-2s yet in any of the leagues in ALR, so this will be the first one of F1 2021 then. Of course it will be it may be under appeal though, of course, because I think Enright will be trying to fight to the very end and to see if he gets an appeal because of this black flag then. But of course, as I said, it's very much like a Silverstone back in 1994. Drama galore here, but Enright leads, and second position is Irvine, third position is Vintage, and now we got Siege and Felipe, who's been, of course, he's been action packed all the way through this race. On the outside, Alibi has got past Goon already, but Felipe is still fighting on them. Felipe having the fourth position. He is the highest of the intermediate runners. Oh my goodness me, I thought he was squeezing him into the barrier there. You mad bro's half a minute behind still then. It's gone to a complete nightmare tonight, hasn't it, for you mad bro. What a shame indeed then. Absolutely incredible stuff. Well, not incredible stuff there from you, mad bro. Now we've got Vintage then, who is now under a lot of pressure, isn't it? It looks like as now Vintage has got 2 laps. Can he withstand the pressure there for Vintage then and get a podium? This will be his first podium in his career, I would hazard a guess. I need to get out the old book again, don't I? And look at this, and now numbers are going down, and he's going for it. He's having a look there. That's a proper, oh goodness me, that's a proper lunge there for Felipe. He's in third position, Felipe. As Vintage is under major power. Roscoe's on the outside. Look left. left. There's the Ferrari of Roscoe. Oh, Roscoe and Siege there. They're getting very close there. Siege there is hanging around to try. Roscoe there. Oh, goodness me. I'm going to have to hype on my pillow. Oh, my goodness me. How did they make it through there? Wow. Impressive driving from both drivers there, Roscoe and Siege. That is magnificent stuff indeed. Vintage is down into 4th position there. Alibi's got a 3-second penalty. Vintage is down to 4th. Eddie is still on the podium now because Enright has got black flagged in this race. 31 out of 31 here in this race. And we're on board now with Roscoe. Roscoe has got the pace over Siege at the moment. Look at the Aston Martin of Gunnar in the background. He's on a stupendous performance. Oh, contact that. And look, there's sparks out for the AlphaTauri, and the McLaren is silent shifted on the outside as well. And shifted is through. Oh, Roscoe's through there. Irvine's off the circuit. Irvine's off the circuit. Oh, my goodness me. And on the outside goes Sage. He's up in his second position. He's passed. He's up in his second position now. Oh, my goodness me. Who's going to win this race? Roscoe's up in the third now. Irvine's on the back foot here. Oh, my goodness me. We didn't see what happened to Irvine. The McLaren is sonic shifting down the inside then as well. Irvine has gone from the lead to 6th position in this Grand Prix. Oh, my golly gosh then. And now we've got silent shifting, who is no, we haven't got Siege who's second then at the moment now. Felipe leads the Grand Prix. Second is Siege. Roscoe in third. Silent shifting is fourth. Irvine may still be on the podium now. And we got Vintage, both Red Bulls then, who were first and second in the safety car start. And look at Gunnar. Gunnar's on the inside of Alabon. And look at this. And we've got wheel-to-wheel stuff. And Gunnar is passing. Is that the intermediate tires? And they're starting to come into their own here. And Felipe is going to be really pushing the button now, isn't there? I think that, look, it's a Haas 1-2. And Jamie Enright is in the wall, and he's out of the race. And this is all kinds of chaos, and now they're going in wheel to wheel down Raffles through the part, and Roscoe is going for second position there. Silent Shifting's got a 3-second penalty. I wonder if Enright's just found out about that black flag there, but I still would have carried on till the end and then just argued about it later on. Roscoe is, I think, had to let the Ferrari McLaren back through, and now Roscoe's on the inside. This is getting very hair and scared in the final couple of laps or so. Felipe, then it's Siege. Then it is the Ferrari of Roscoe, silent shift, and then we got a queue of the Irvine and the Red Bull of Vintage out of the final turn. It's Felipe into the last turn now, and it is going to be Felipe who wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic there from Felipe there. He led the first lap, believe it or not, then, and Irvine, I think, is going to be on the podium as well. But what could have been there for Irvine here tonight then? And absolutely incredible end to the race that was there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Felipe won that race then. Incredible stuff indeed. Siege in second position. Irvine third. Vintage fourth. What performance for Vintage. Roscoe in fifth. Gunnar is in 6th position now. I think that's his best result of his bronze career. 7th position is Alibi. Incredible that was. Enright has asked why has he been black flagged. I think it's for the pit. It was for the pit entry. It's for the pit entry there where you overtook Theo then, because I think it was an absolutely incredible manoeuvre. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, I think from the letter of the law, I'm not sure if that is very much legit there. First ever win. Becca's asking for Felipe. It is indeed. Then that's his first ever Grand Prix win there for Felipe. As I probably should have mentioned that earlier on. Thank you. I'm glad that someone's paying attention, because I'm certainly not. I need to lie down after that. What an incredible end to that race that was. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Singapore Grand Prix. Felipe, what a performance there. He was leading after the first exchange there, wasn't he? And goodness gracious me there, and he led the last time. So that's the most important thing there. Second position is Siege there from 17th to second. He was the driver of the day for the game there. I think the driver of the day was Vintage, though, as he got 64% of the vote. Well done to Vintage there. Irvine in third position there with Vintage in fourth. Roscoe in fifth. Gunnar in 6th position now. Alibi 7th. 8th was Silent Shifting. 9th was You Mad Bro. 10th position was Diashi. 11th position was Bullet in the end then, who retired from the race there along with Diashi. Also Theo, Senna, Camarasa, Sammy, Controller, Chappie, Shadows, Joseph, and of course Jamie Enright, who got disqualified. I think I've been joined in the gantry now by, I think it's Irvine. Irvine, I gotta say, that was a crazy end to the race then. I'm not sure if I can remember what happened at the beginning then, but from start to finish today, you was absolutely mesmerising. Talk us about your race.
I wish that the rain didn't come because I struggled in that rain, sliding all over the place, and then that last safety car uh, ruined my race, I think.
My goodness me, you did. It seems like you did struggle in the wet areas. You did drop off, but you did. But then it seems like the drivers at the front started to struggle. Then, was you thinking that, oh, maybe I can get a Grand Prix win here?
Well, I seen at the end that they all had penalties, but I thought I'll try and stick as close to them as possible and then see where I end up. And luckily, I'm on the podium.
I've been saying throughout the season, and that you've been one driver that I feel that you might have been challenging for the bronze championship, but you've been a bit unlucky there. But today you really had the total package in qualifying. You was up there, and then the race as well. You had some pace then just before the rain came. Was you enjoying it out there today? It looked like it.
Well, compared to other weeks, yeah, because as you know, I've struggled or spun or retired or whatever. So yeah, quite happy to see the finish flag and get on the podium.
And of course, there's a lot of controversy about the lead Haas there. So with just just a couple laps ago, that last safety car, you was technically leading the race. Unfortunately, it was a Red Bull 1-2. But what happened to you on that last lap there? It looks. Did you spin it at the exit of turn three?
Yeah, my rear's overheated because the last safety car that when it came in, they said, "Oh, Inters are the best tyre," and there was only 2 laps to go, and I thought, "Oh, I'm not pitting now," so I just kind of tried to hang it in there and keep it on the track.
And I must say that I think drivers went to the intermediate tyres, but they were really struggling towards the end then. But did you think if you had the intermediate tyres go on, did you reckon that you would have maybe have got higher up today?
Hindsight's a wonderful thing. I have no idea.
Indeed, it is there. Of course, it is a wonderful thing. I wish I had hindsight. But that was a great performance today. Kicking on into Japan, coming up in a week's time, 2 weeks time, I should say. How are you feeling going to there? And it's a very technical and twisty circuit. I remember last year. I think there was action last year. I remember. Did you enjoy last year in Japan?
But yeah, I won last year's COBALT race, so hopefully I can do it again.
Aha! I knew you had a good race there. I was just testing you. Good stuff indeed, everybody. Well done today. Brilliant on your podium today. Brilliant stuff indeed. And I think that's the only driver that wants to talk to me today. I don't blame him, to be honest. Oh, goodness gracious me. Right, we'll be back in action for COBALT tomorrow, as it's the fourth and final race. That is on our weeks-long visit to here in Singapore. What a brilliant week it's been so far. Controversy in this race, then, as I've been saying, it's been shades of the 1994 British Grand Prix, as it were. Schumacher is black flagged as well. But of course, there's going to be a lot of fallout, I think, after this one. Join us tomorrow night, though, as you will hear a bit of it from me, and also you'll see the COBALT drivers in action as well. But for now, it's goodbye. Thank you.